Nostalgia critic? Sounds good.
Okay, we are here. Depresston, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Ah, God, I'm great. I'm very excited about what we're about to dig into. We're going to be
Yeah,
watching some
big pile of shit.
mysterious Mr. Enter, our boy.
Dude.
So, like, you suggested this to me before. Like, what's your experience with Mr. Enter for the most part?
He's cringe.
Yeah,
I I didn't really have a Mr. Enter phase. I guess I should say that.
yeah.
But I've seen a couple of people make fun of him online, and I just, he's funny to look at. That's the thing. He's a
This is very true. He's a humongous dork. We're gonna take a quick look at some of what he has to offer. So this is the most recent episode. We might revisit that, but I just wanted to go to his landing page. And show this is kind of how he sees himself. And I should be streaming to you. Can you see everything?
I can see. He looks
Okay.
like the fucking neighborhood watch guy.
He does. I know. That's what I always thought. But like, you know, you watch any of his videos and you don't want this man to watch anything in your neighborhood whatsoever. It's like, because I hate to do this, but where'd I put it? There we go. This is our guy in actuality. He's you know, I'm not one to shame how people look, except for all those times that I have in numerous streams and videos. But
this guy's wearing his brother's clothes. Look at this shit. It's 3 sizes too big.
I just don't get how, like, even as an animation enthusiast or cartoonist or whatever you want to call yourself, like, get it together, my guy. Like, what the fuck?
So clearly this wasn't him out in public. This is him recording something. He didn't even take time to like fucking wash his hair or anything.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah, like you can be a little grungy in the comfort of your own home. I get that, but
you could have picked up the fucking soda cans off your desk, dude.
Yeah, my man looks like a germ in a cold commercial or something. He looks like an Osmosis Jones villain. He's just fucking washed. Oh damn. Oh my god, they're already coming in. I wasn't ready for that shit. I never am. Ted Comet, $5. Sorry, I wasn't ready. I'm so bad at reading the fucking supers. I'll probably read a bunch near the end or during a break. But yeah, enough clowning on this man's appearance. we'll get into some of what he's known for.
There's plenty of stuff.
There's plenty to look at. So, firstly, Mr. Enter has exhaustively detailed all of his reviews, including ones that have been lost to time itself. I'm gonna be real, this might be one of the most autistic things I've ever seen in my life. Of like,
especially when you notice how many of them are fucking SpongeBob and My Little Pony.
It's like, I can see cataloging someone else's body of work pretty exhaustively. But to catalog your own reviews like this?
Wait, he made this? This is his...
He made it!
I didn't know that.
This is his. Like, he's got all the admirable animations, including description. He has his own opinions on the episodes.
Isn't that what you left the link for the video for, man? Why do you have a whole ass review, guys?
He reviewed his own videos. This is nuts. This is like, you know, in like 7, when they're going to the different murder scenes and like analyzing he's murdering like the 7 deadly sins. Like, I feel like we're uncovering a madman's trail here.
This is like, it's like you just walked in on the Bjork stalker video.
Yeah, this was supposed to be funny. It's officially scary now, and this is fucked. All right, major miscellaneous videos.
I can't get over the fact that he reviewed his own fucking reviews.
Yeah, that might be the most insane shit I've ever seen of him going like, I thought this video was pretty good. I had a lot of great opinions on Peter Griffin. Like,
I think my opinion that Peter Griffin shouldn't bully Meg still stands up today.
Like, even videos where he's talking about drama or difficult things, it's like, regarding Star Giant Productions, I talk about a disgruntled editor I had to fire for repeatedly attacking me and my friends. Like why would you add flavor text
to a drama video?
Yeah, to like a video where you're like, man, this was a really uncomfortable time for me and the gang.
It's like, imagine PewDiePie did like the exact same shit, and like we could find like, I say the N-word on the bridge in this video, you know?
Yeah, it's like playing PUBG, N-word said, ruined life.
Ruined life. Actually, his life seems pretty fine.
Yeah, I think it merely just course corrected his life, and in fact, from the few Pewds videos I watched, I was like, wow, this guy actually got like way more down to earth after fucking up.
Yeah.
Because I think he just went like, okay, well, I guess I'm screwed as a kid's entertainer, so I might as well just be like.
So I'm also
Kinda
noticing,
funny.
looks like he has Nicorama. His MLP reviews. How does he do every episode of MLP?
Nicorama, this man has reviewed the entire fucking channel at this
Are you
point. Like, pretty much all their animated cartoons since Ren and Stimpy are here.
Jesus
Ren and
Christ.
Stimpy's like the original, like the first original Nick animation.
Yeah, and you also got Doug, Rugrats. We'll go down. What's the most recent thing?
It's the Casa Grandes, which is
Casa Grande.
Yeah, it's a spinoff of Loud House.
Okay, so he's pretty fucking up to date.
Yeah, these are like all of them.
Jesus.
This man's a fucking lunatic, chat.
You know what? I can at least give him this. He has dedication if he's still doing this shit, you know?
Yeah, this is shockingly organized. It's upsetting though. Oh, gameplay. I didn't even know he did playthroughs.
I guess
so these are all his video game playthroughs. Oh, look at that. Oh, we hit the Zelda mine there.
Zelda mine. Wait.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh my god, look at all that Roller Coaster Tycoon. Is there really that much to do on fucking Roller Coaster Tycoon? Oh, he has 2 episodes dedicated to Silent Hill, but like 40 dedicated to Roller Coaster Tycoon. Go fuck yourself, dude.
It's like genuinely an engaging horror game. Nah, I'm gonna build roller coasters. Oh god, man!
Like he makes fucking, or at least maybe he just doesn't update this doc anymore, or either that or he stopped.
I find that I don't know. I find that hard to believe. Like let's see. Okay, all right. Yeah. So 2013. Most recent was 2020.
Oh, 2020. Oh, so the Roller Coaster Tycoon is going on right now. Nice, or I guess not right now.
Well, yeah, but it's
but fuck.
Fairly recent.
It was
and I mean, you get the point. This man has a horrific fixation on organizing his stupid reviews. So we'll stop looking at this window into madness.
It's probably because he's autistic, but still, it's just bizarre to look at.
I gotta say, man, like I don't live with autism, so I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. I guess that wouldn't be autism. That'd be OCD, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I know there's some form of like categorization with autism because there's some comfort in it, but what he's doing is almost like akin to OCD. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he collated a bunch of random facts about him. I can't believe this shit. He has a page about the disgruntled editor from that previous video. Shit, it just gets worse and worse. And I think you were telling me that he specifically wrote these entries, right?
Yeah, I mean they're all in first person.
Yeah, like I am asexual. Shout out all the ace people in chat. If you're ace, let's say okay. But
wait. Along with drool, scotch tape, and newspapers also make me cringe. What? You see fucking old man reading a newspaper and you just start cringing at him? You fucking dork. You fucking nerd.
I dislike certain foods like onions solely based on their texture.
That's fine.
A movie I like that everyone seems to hate, The Haunted Mansion. Yeah, this guy's got shit taste. The Haunted Mansion. That's the one with Eddie Murphy. They just put out a remake of it, for God's sakes. It's like, I'm sorry, man. Black people don't like Disney. We don't go to your movies. Stop trying to get us to go to them. We don't fuck with that shit.
All 4 of my wisdom teeth were removed on the same day. Yeah, that's not that interesting of a fact, dude. Isn't that like the norm? Just get rid of all the
if you had that one. Yeah, if you had them grow in, why wouldn't you get them all taken out at the same time? What kind of dentist would go like, let's schedule you for 4 separate appointments? I guess a real lucrative dentist, but
Yeah,
someone who's grifting hard,
take
man.
all your fucking money, yeah, dude.
Yeah. This shit is wild to me.
My favorite Zelda's game is Majora's
Oh,
Mask.
he
Yeah,
even talks about the Splinter here, which we'll get into. The Splinter was an episode that taught me some cartoon episodes could be bad.
What the fuck? Dude, he's acting like this was some revelation.
My God, a bad episode of a cartoon?
No, it can't be. Bad episodes of SpongeBob.
That's
I have to dedicate the next 20 years of my fucking life to attacking this shit, dude. Oh my God.
Yo, so are you telling me that this man blissfully watched like decades of SpongeBob until realizing that it had sharply declined? Because that's a newish episode, I think, too. It's not like it's like from the modern era of SpongeBob.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's. I believe so.
Yeah, he would have had to watch like about 10 years of this fucking show to go, hey, wait a minute, this isn't as good as the other ones. God damn. I can't imagine being that like blissfully complacent with anything, let alone a fucking cartoon, man. Oh, Christ. This shit's killing me.
There was more. We didn't even finish. We stopped at. We discovered that some episodes could be bad.
There are so many. Okay, we got to revisit this.
All right.
Let's watch the big one that he mentioned. That was a good segue. We're gonna watch a bit of the Splinter.
This is what awakened him. This was like
this is the first episode of his animated atrocities. This implies like it basically compelled him to start reviewing YouTube or like reviewing cartoons.
Oh, by the way, Alex, you just wait. We're gonna be talking about that episode here soon.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be a bad time for everyone. I'm trying to move you, but I'm having a hard time selecting you right now. Give me 1 second. God, I'm such a fucking boomer with OBS, man. It's horrible for me. It's goddamn awful for me. I wish it would stop happening.
You're grabbing the fucking everything.
I know. It's fucking hell, man. All right, we'll flip you around. I hate this goddamn program. There we go. We're like fucking Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte. We're like 48 hours. White guy, black guy. White guy, black guy.
White guy, black guy.
Yeah,
also, I've noticed that you're not signed in. That's good. Otherwise, your recommendations would just be.
Oh yeah, fuck no. I could never. I could never be signed in watching this bullshit.
I find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Some viewers might fight.
Wait. He felt the need to preface this with a warning because I guess it's a gross out episode. He's acting like this is fucking gore or something, man.
This guy, we're about to watch a fucking plane crash or some shit, dude. Like, what is this? So I'm curious.
Yeah.
You watched a bit of his shit in preparation for this.
I've watched his shit in the past too. I'm
okay.
Unfortunately aware of him.
Okay, so does he like Ren and Stimpy? And if so, how did he deal with that? But then this episode of fucking SpongeBob fucking was
I think
too
it's the juxtaposition is probably what fucked him up the most. Is like because Ren and Stimpy is always gross and mean-spirited. Whereas SpongeBob wasn't that for a very long time. And then something like this comes like out of nowhere comparatively, right?
Okay, I guess that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, like if you watched a fucking, mean-spirited, fucking violent show all the time.
Yeah, Always Sunny, like for instance, I guess. It'd be like if Always Sunny episode had like a shit of a, I don't know, Full House or something.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, you have a normal family sitcom, and then something like horrendously violent or disturbing happens out of nowhere for the first time in like 5 years. So I get it. He's just stupid.
Some viewers may find this disturbing. Your discretion is advised.
That was not a joke. If you are squeamish, have a fear of pus or blood, or just have trouble forgetting disturbing things, then you might want to scroll down and click to a new tab. Some of the imagery in this episode is unsettling.
This is your chance, okay? You know, if you got to split, if this brand stream is too much for you.
If you guys can't react to two guys reacting to this nerd reviewing the fucking episode of SpongeBob, is your time to dip.
Wait, don't dip. I need the viewership. Just scroll down.
Whenever I think of a horrid episode of any show, this is what immediately comes to mind. Okay. It's what lets me know that things could always get worse, and to count every single blessing we have.
This guy's acting like this is the biggest atrocity to ever happen to mankind.
Guys, I've seen some pretty sick shit in my time, but these 11 minutes broke me.
You don't understand.
The plot of this episode is simple. SpongeBob gets a splinter, and he spends about 11 minutes trying to get it out. If that makes it sound boring, let me tell you that this episode is anything but. In some episodes of SpongeBob, the title card gets fitting background music, like in Spongicus, you get a Roman theme sound. I love here how it plays the same classic tune, like it's saying that it's just another typical episode. As soon as the episode starts, we get our first sign that this was an incredibly terrible idea. It starts out with some incredibly mundane filler, until SpongeBob manages to fling his spatula into the ceiling. He stacks a bunch of boxes to get up, and begins attempting to pull it out.
This is an OSHA violation. Why would he do
sauce.
this?
As soon as SpongeBob pulls his spatula out, he begins falling to the ground. Yeah, I wish. It turns out that he gets saved by dumb luck. And by dumb luck, he trips over some of the tartar sauce and gets the titular splinter jammed into his finger in slow motion.
I mean, that's a pretty gnarly segment. And if I was a little kid, I'd probably be like, oh god. But I'm an adult man, so, you know, yeah, that sucks, I guess.
We can see that it goes in
he's
pretty
not wrong.
damn
This is
deep.
kind of a gross, like, episode.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's acting like we're watching war footage, dude. Like we're watching his newborn son be shot in the head or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
episode of SpongeBob, bro. Calm down.
Just exactly. Like, he even has some valid points here. You know, of going like, this is a real departure from typical SpongeBob, and I don't like this, right? That's his thesis. But it's couched in him going like, guys, sit down. You're gonna want to prepare yourself for this episode of SpongeBob I'm reviewing.
Get ready, guys. This is not
then
like the
SpongeBob
normal
starts trying to
episode.
pull it out, and we see him cringe as he does it. We see how real the pain feels. The writers and animators are determined to make it seem as painful as possible. I don't know if this is a half-assed attempt at slapstick, or just an attempt to make the audience cringe. If it was the former, you've got to make the pain cartoonish and over the top. Like, say, have a piano fall on someone's head. That's funny because it can't really happen to us. Most of us have had splinters, and some of us have had splinters we couldn't get out. So yeah, we can feel this pain. So eventually, SpongeBob tries to pull it off with his teeth, and ends up ripping his skull out. And that convinces him to leave the splinter in. With the splinter getting in the way, SpongeBob ties the spatula to his nose, and that ends up annoying Squidward. Some cliches never do die. And then Squidward sees the splinter. SpongeBob shows it to him, and some of the pus drips on his face. Are you grossed out yet? 'Cause it gets better. Squidward tells SpongeBob that if he doesn't get the splinter out, then Mr. Krabs will be forced to send him home early. It's at this point that I began to wonder if I was overblowing this episode's vile repulsion, when I called it a shitty abomination of hell. Sure, we've had tons of filler and a little bit of gross out, but that's nothing out of the ordinary for your typical modern SpongeBob episode. And then SpongeBob called Dr. Patrick. So, enter Dr. Patrick. He starts out by chewing on SpongeBob's foot, in grotesque detail. Okay, writers, no one wants to see your sick, unfunny, and uninteresting foot fetish. When SpongeBob tells Patrick...
Dan Schneider would disagree.
I was gonna say that the guy that you reviewed last time helped animate this episode.
yeah, Simeon Chap very excited to see that sequence.
This, he gets upset. So to calm him down, SpongeBob decides to do whatever Dr. Patrick says without objection. This is your last chance. If you have an aversion to gross out...
Oh, what do we got here? Bodacious Sano, 350. I hope there are brighter days ahead for you. Thank you, man. Greatly appreciated. Those days are going to be after this stream because this is terrible already.
You will want it back out now. He sees the Splinter
back
and
out
reaches into his
down.
medical bag.
Stop! Back away from the computer! Turn it off!
This is your last chance. Seriously, this is where it gets messed up, guys.
It's gonna be really gross.
And pulls out a hammer. You know it's coming. He rallies it up, and then he smashes the Splinter into the thumb, causing it to swell up to a horrid size.
Peaking.
And when Dr. Dipshit sees the swelling, he puts a garbage
Dr.
compress on it,
Dipshit.
causing it to spew
Really
forth pus
got
and
him
turn
with
a
that, man.
sickly purple color. Oh, by the way, it gets worse. SpongeBob goes back inside to find Mr. Krabs and Squidward. SpongeBob is determined to hide a Splinter. They're building this up quite a lot, and when it's finally revealed, a huge red abomination with pus and a pulsating red bane. That, no joke, caused me to vomit.
It's a pretty standard, like, kids cartoon gross out gag, though. Like,
but it caused me to vomit. I saw this and I hurled, bro.
you're absolutely right, because, like, Ren and Stimpy has that one gag where, like, someone, like, snots into a cup and then Stimpy unwittingly drinks it. Like, the gross out humor in Ren and Stimpy kicks the living shit out of this. And
how did he fucking survive that? Maybe it's just he was prepared, I guess. I don't know.
yeah,
Like, he saw this and his fucking reaction is so delayed, he didn't think about turning it off until the episode was over.
I hope like he shows up in like a history documentary in the future. Is like, sure, JFK dying pretty bad, right? The Splinter. Have you seen that episode of SpongeBob?
I want him to start reviewing war footage. He's like, this reminds me of the episode where SpongeBob got the Splinter.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it, and then we get a close-up on the Splinter itself. Mr. Krabs pulls it out, and surprise! Confetti! Haha! No. Pus starts spraying on Mr. Krabs. Oh, and by the way, it wouldn't be a modern SpongeBob episode without at least some Squidward torture porn. Mr. Krabs talks about worksman comp, so Squidward bashes his head in with a cash register, only to find out that his shift ended 2 minutes ago. To call this episode a piece of utter shit would be an insult to shit.
Squidward torture porn is like, he was talking about slapstick in general anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he was like, oh, this is, why can't it be slapstick like normally? Then fucking, whenever we have some regular-ass slapstick, he's like, it's torture porn, it doesn't count.
That's a perfectly serviceable, dumb slapstick gag of, like, Squidward's trying to get off on workers' comp. Mr. Krabs goes, oh, your shift ended 2 minutes ago, Mr. Squidward. Ha ha ha, right?
Yeah, it's fine. He's the butt of the joke. It's fine. But no, this guy's like, no, Squidward is, I am Squidward. Squidward is me.
Show, like, has Mr. Enter never seen, like, you know, a burn victim or, like, people who suffered radiation or anything, like, actually horrifying?
No, fucking, has Enter ever worked a job? That's my legitimate question. I don't think he has.
No, but, yeah, this is his job, Depresston.
Who, if not for me, who else would stand and defend SpongeBob from its bad episodes? Who will ensure that the Canadians include 9/11 representation in their movies?
The legacy of Steven Hillenburg will be protected by me.
Pardon the cliche.
Marines
Without
on
the
Iwo
disgusting
Jima,
visual
gay
gimmicks, this
people,
episode has no
I'm
leg to
braver
stand
than
on.
all of
It
them.
wants to gross you out, and if it doesn't, it'll
Where's
only
my
end up boring.
parade?
There is no reason for this episode
Where's
to
my
exist,
pride
other
month?
than nausea fuel. It's an excuse to be as gross as possible, and a flimsy excuse at that. I don't know who would be vile enough, repulsive enough, disgusting enough to think that this would be a good idea. And
Dog!
This dude,
These are,
I want to see this guy's.
these are animators. Yeah, these are animators. They're already kind of bent people, right? But, like, yeah, this is gross. I agree. But it's the kind of gross that, like, a 10-year-old boy might laugh at or something. You're not the target audience, man.
Dude, he forgets that. He forgets that all the time. He's like, I mean, he reviews like actual like little kid shows, not just like shows that like anyone can watch. I guess like I don't know, like Steven Universe or fucking whatever.
Yeah.
No, he'll go in there and he'll be like, "Yep, this is. Why is this? I don't know. What's another little kid show he reviews?
Like, how little are we talking? Like, I'm imagining him just going like, how is Doc McStuffins helping these apparently sentient puppets and toys.
Why
did they come
no one
to
else
life?
notice? Is this a Toy Story ripoff or something?
How is she? She's only 6. How is she a doctor?
Yeah, he's sitting there like right next to his like little niece and nephew, you know, and the shit out of their dudes, you know.
Just like,
that's stupid. Why didn't she do that in the first place?
Why would they?
Did we...
Why would they call the Paw Patrol before the authorities? It just doesn't make sense.
Where was the Paw Patrol on 9/11? They could have stopped it.
They're puppies. They weren't born yet. How convenient. Yeah, so...
Then to actually make a goddamn episode about it? Who wrote this? 3. This episode had 3 writers. How is that?
Television usually has multiple writers. And animation usually has multiple writers work on the storyboards. And they usually get a writing credit because of their input on the storyboards as well. How do you not know this? You watch hundreds of cartoons for a living.
Yeah. I want to point out that guy's name is Nate Cash. That's the dad of Clyde Cash. Fun fact.
God damn it. I gotta stop inviting you out.
That possible? How did 3 professional level writers come forth with this crap when a 5-year-old would know better and throw it in the trash? These 3 do not deserve to have jobs. They deserve to be fired immediately and blacklisted. They're just putting no effort into
this shit. Is it?
You wrote the Splinter? Here's your box. You'll never work in this city again.
Good luck getting a job in this industry. Yeah.
Well, honey,
Dan Schneider kicks him out of the office and shit.
Honey, kids, I wrote a gross episode of SpongeBob, and Nickelodeon executives fired me after pantsing me, and I can never animate or write again.
The kids are already gone. I found someone better, a Mr. Enter, if you will.
I found a handsome, bearded cartoon reviewer. No, baby, please. It wasn't that bad of an episode, I swear.
I'm just imagining Mr. Enter now as like one of those Chud Wojaks, you know?
Like just with the Chad job, yeah. No, you can't fucking blacklist me. The Splinter was bad.
something, and then there's putting effort into making something as utterly horrible as possible. Believe me when I say that I know how bad things can get. To answer your question, no. Putting your hoof down is not worse than the Splinter. Putting your hoof down is a concept that could have worked in some form of reality.
It's kind of like having family.
Fuck no. It's just the first one I usually think of when I think of a bad episode. It probably wouldn't even hit the top 10. Well, there's that episode where Mrs. Puff tries to murder SpongeBob, or there's that episode where Mr. Krabs drives Plankton to attempt suicide.
What could possibly be worse than the Splinter? How about these other children's cartoons with juxtaposition themes or whatever? Like, his rationale for these critiques just blows my mind, where he's like, this isn't like the episodes I like, so it's bad.
Why don't they just make the same 7 episodes over and over again? Get it?
Yeah, that's how you
it's
keep
like,
your.
Isn't he one of is he one of those guys that was like, why do they make new Teen Titan Go episodes? Why don't they just play the old ones forever?
Absolutely.
Why don't we make new cartoons at all? Why don't we just play the same ones that I had in my childhood forever and always?
I never got that rationale either, because like you can just watch the old show. Just watch the old show. And you know, if they made more episodes of Teen Titans, it would suck.
Oh, probably. I mean,
it's like
very few shows that come back, like you were talking
very
about.
Few are good when they're revived. Yeah,
Beavis and Butthead is like the exception, not the norm.
Yeah, and that's because like the creator is like directly involved, which is a rarity in a lot of these revival shows.
And he has actual ideas for his fucking show this time. It's not him coming back, due to corporate dollars. At least I think it is,
Yeah, the first Beavis and Butthead revival was basically they just drove up to Mike Judge with a fucking truck full of money and said, rate like 12 new episodes. Here's $10 million. Make them laugh at modern stuff.
Yeah, I actually kind of like the most recent revival of Beavis and Butthead. Like,
It's pretty good. It's out,
is.
yeah, but like that's probably a testament to Mike Judge, like actually having some creator control and like you say, having ideas, experience.
Yeah.
He's like a complete veteran.
It's not this fucking Mr. Enter fucking dumbass, dude.
God damn.
Let's get back to this garbage, though.
Yeah. I can only hear him talk about that so much, but we're gonna watch a bit of his infamous Family Guy reviews. The Seahorse Seashell Party.
Wait, does he still do this? That's my question. Some viewers may find this disturbing on all of his animated atrocities.
No, I picked specific ones that have this hilarious disclaimer.
Okay.
Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
You look at a British guy off of Fiverr and they go, some viewers some viewers might find this disturbing, mate. You better fucking watch it.
Can I ask you guys a question? Think of a show that you really, really like. What would it take to make you quit it? Maybe it's a...
Does this guy watch anything that aren't cartoons? Does he watch, like, live-action shows or anything? Like, that's the one thing that always kind of nagged at me with him.
I don't think he does, as far as I could tell. I don't think he has time to, judging by how much fucking animated atrocities and shit.
I know, he's watched, like, entire, like, show runs for his reviews and shit. But, yeah, it just makes me think, it's like, this guy hasn't, like, watched, like, The Wire, or, like, True Detective, or Rome, or... Like, he hasn't watched, like, good television before, so he's, like, so fixated on fucking Family Guy.
Family Guy and SpongeBob, dude. This is the pinnacle of entertainment.
I would love to hear Mr. Enter review The Sopranos or like Breaking Bad, like review Mad Men. Like I want him to watch something entirely, and then just review a mature adult show the same way. Where it's like,
the same way. This is why did Walter White poison the child? That was unnecessary. I don't get it.
Don Draper's wife is beautiful. Why would he cheat on her? Is he stupid?
Oh my god.
He can't possibly be unhappy. He's rich.
Bunch of bad episodes in a row, or maybe it's a couple of bad seasons. Or maybe an episode can do something so horrendously abysmal that it makes you vow to never watch the show again. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a bad one today. One of the most horrifically bad episodes that I've ever seen from any show ever. Is it worse than One Course Meal? Oh yeah, it is. And we'll get to why that is. Speaking of that, Family Guy is probably the adult equivalent of SpongeBob. It started out decently and had a certain charm to it, but over the years, it got bad. I mean, we all know about the episode Not All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Why don't they just talk to Omar and see if they can come to some sort of agreement? Is it because he has the shotgun? Maybe if they talk to him. This show is stupid. Why is McNulty on the boat for the whole season? God!
It's basically saying that all religious people are bigoted idiots, and that God doesn't exist because some women are not physically attractive.
Why are the Republicans supporting Israel? Don't they know Israel is unnecessarily cruel?
Give me a whole fucking month where he reviews adult media, and then he just starts talking about life itself in the exact same way.
He talks about SpongeBob episodes, dude.
This is because the show has a massive ego. It was killed and came back twice. You cannot kill Family Guy, and the show knows it. Now on to this episode in particular, which is probably the worst cartoon episode ever made. The story starts with the Griffin family watching the news about a hurricane. Ah yes, this is part of a special where all three of Seth MacFarlane's shows had an episode involved during the same hurricane. Interesting idea for a ratings trap, but this episode doesn't have anything...
You're acting so offended by it. What the fuck is wrong with you?
This episode is already aired and got its ratings, you moron. Like, why would you go, wow, this guy wanted his show to succeed? During a primetime block, he wanted his show to get good numbers? Of course he did, you fucking moron. That's how shows...
His entire job is to get good numbers.
That's his fucking job. That's exactly how shows get made. Those ratings matter so fucking much, you idiot. God
to do with
damn,
any of the
man.
others. The satellite dish goes out, and we have a pointless cutaway. I know that it's Family Guy's thing to have random cutaways, but we're not even a minute in, and it already seems like they're trying to pad out this episode. Because, oh dear God, does it need padding. It has 2 subplots, and each of them are extremely weak. The, what I'm going to call B-plot, is Brian doing some magic mushrooms. And Stewie's there because why not? Have you ever had a bad psychedelic trip? Leslie Wild, the writer of this episode, wants to show you a bad trip. Just so you guys are prepared for it when it hits, try fusing the Splinter with Squidward and Clarinetland and a bit of House Fancy. Now I'm calling it the B-plot because the A-plot is much...
He had to compare a drug trip to cartoon episodes. This guy's entire brain, entire fucking world revolves around SpongeBob. And
No, man, like, like, exactly. Like, this guy has no actual life experience outside of watching cartoons. The big indicator of this is that he will name episodes of cartoons, like individual episodes, by their title, which most people don't. Most people don't know the fucking titles of cartoon episodes, for one.
Yeah, they're like, hey, that one episode of Family Guy.
Yeah, you know when Homer he gropes the girl's butt by accident, like
yeah, that's a good episode. I don't even fucking know the name of it.
Exactly.
You know?
That, and people would say that's a classic episode of that show, and they don't know the fucking title of it.
The episode where the fucking they build the monorail, you know?
Yeah. But he says them so offhandedly. That's like, this guy's life is cartoons to like an upsetting fucking degree.
It's pathetic, dude.
Yeah, it really is. Like, you can like them. You can like them for sure. This goes well beyond just enjoying a cartoon.
It does.
Fucking Enter needs to do some shrooms. Enter probably needs to do crack or something. He's got to do DMT. He's got to change his whole brain chemistry, man.
Much worse. This is going to be a fun one, isn't it? And now the A-plot begins.
Yeah.
The Griffin family is bored. So we have a pointless charades bit, and then we have a pointless random noises bit.
That's all fucking Family Guy is filler, dude. It's a little goofy show. This isn't. They don't have overarching plots. Fucking dumbass.
I was gonna say, hey man, real respect, real. This is when Kanye dapped up Jay-Z, man. Enter and Nostalgia Critic. This is when fucking Enter's getting the chain from Doug. This seems excessive though, that he would use like a full fucking Nostalgia Critic joke.
Oh my god.
He just went like, here's someone else's joke.
Here's someone who's a lot more. It's still fucking going on.
Except that none of this is funny. You know, I thought that this should be obvious, but an episode about being trapped in a house with no television shouldn't be as boring as being trapped in a house with no television. The animation in this episode is also as lazy as hell, at least in the A-plot. Notice how the characters barely move. In the B-plot, however, the animation is at least trying. Speaking of which, Brian's magic mushrooms start taking hold. Hey, it's random weirdness because that's funny. Honestly, if only it stayed on that level. Brian slowly leaves the room, and then Peter decides to do something called finger banging. When Meg tries to join in...
Oh, no one wants to get finger banged by you, Meg.
Why don't you just go do that to yourself, Meg?
Yeah, her family don't like her any. Stewie runs upstairs to see Brian about to chop his own ear off with scissors. And we get to see it in all of its messy glory. Well, that's the house fancy part down. It's funny because a baby is playing with a severed limb, while a dog is bleeding on the floor. Oh wait, that's not funny at all. That's actually really fucking disturbing. Luckily, Stewie managed...
That isn't funny at all.
It's not funny.
I can't lie, that is actually a pretty good gag of like the severed ear still like causing his leg to kick. That's actually a pretty good gag. Like,
I'm sure this episode isn't that bad.
He's clearly gone into it hating it already, the way he talks about it, right? Like,
here's the thing. It's like if you hate someone, even if they tell a funny joke, you're not gonna laugh at it. You're just gonna be like, "Oh wow, what a funny joke."
Yeah.
You know? He went into this hating it, so I don't know how good any of these jokes are. I haven't watched this episode in fucking a long-ass time, and I wasn't even really watching it when I watched it.
Yeah, like, even his remark about the animation and the A-plot or whatever, where, like, he used that gag of Peter sitting and, like, making weird faces or whatever. It's like, well, actually, if you know anything about animation, That's pretty decent character animation right there, where like Peter's doing a bunch of like subtle facial tics and the like. It's like I don't know, man. Like, yeah, he's not running around like a fucking Hayao Miyazaki character, but like for the show that you're watching, Family Guy like never has decent animation.
Yeah. Family Guy is cheap animation, I feel like, just objectively speaking, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And like he was like, "Oh, why is it so boring in the house?" I think that's the joke, is that they're bored out of their fucking minds,
yeah,
you know?
That's absolutely the joke that, oh man, this sucks. We can't go out or do anything zany. We got to make our own fun. It's a relatable premise. It's like this guy like doesn't fucking understand that that's the point of this stupid episode of Family Guy. So again, like I would love to see him talk about a fucking Gaspar Noé movie or something. I'd love to see him talk about like any piece of like relatively heady cinema and go like, you know, why is Henry Hill so mad at his friends? I thought once he got in the mafia, doesn't that mean he's happy?
I don't get it. Why did the fucking guy from Goodfellas kill this guy? I don't get it.
Well, he used to shine shoes. Why is he mad about that now?
Just to sew up Brian's ear, and then we see through Brian's point of view.
Do you like my soothing voice? Return the map. Return what you have stolen from me.
Okay, ignore them half-assedly trying to be disturbing, and what do you notice the most about
It's funny.
It's actually kind of a funny fucking gag that Brian's tripping off shrooms. And, you know, yeah, this is meant to look lazy and shitty. Like, come on, man! How is he missing the point this goddamn hard?
this scene? That's right, it's a still frame with lips talking. You know, like cartoons from the 50s that didn't have a goddamn budget? Family Guy is one of the most profitable shows on television. There is no excuse for this. Back to the A-plot.
Oh, hey, I got an idea. Let's have a sing-along. Okay, I'm gonna sing the opening chase music from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Guess how long this goes on for? 55 seconds. During it, Peter ends up annoying everyone.
I love that he's complaining. I love that he's complaining about that going on for so long, but then he put that entire fucking nostalgia critic clip in there.
I know, yeah, it's the lack of self-awareness is hysterical. I'm just like picturing him like immediately pulling out a stopwatch when the gag starts. This is unbelievable.
It ends when Meg opens up a soda, annoying Peter. When he barks at her, she actually stands up to him. That prompts the rest of the family to try to beat her down. Congratulations, Wellesley. You've actually managed to depict how dysfunctional families operate. Usually they place the blame for all their—
Why is he calling the Raider by his fucking first name, man?
Yeah, that's the other thing he does.
That's so bizarre. Well, Wesley, it appears you've actually made a notable moment in this episode.
Wesley, disappointment again, I see.
their problems on one child. You know, like what they've been doing to Meg here for years. And to the B-plot, because our last excursion was so invigorating. Now
yeah, but that's still like a good gag. I don't get it. Like,
I remember this. And she's like, fucking.
Why do you guys look down on me? And then they're dressed like aristocracy, right?
Yeah, it's a funny joke.
That's a funny little joke. He's acting like Family Guy is like some highbrow comedy half the time. It's always this stupid.
The other thing, I know he's gonna complain about like the moral of the episode or whatever, but it's fucking Family Guy. It's a cartoon for adults. It doesn't have morals, you know?
Yeah, these characters act like misanthropes because it's funny. Man, this guy sucks!
To Meg here for years. And to the B-plot, because our last excursion was so invigorating. Now we find out what the episode blew its animation budget on. Welcome to Wonderland's Hell. This scene tries as hard as possible to be disturbing. Can someone please remind me because—
Alright, this asshole saying, oh, Family Guy has bad animation. Here's an entire sequence where they clearly used their budget.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's a whole ass sequence where they said, hey, let's do some crazy animation for this bad trip. Like, he just keeps moving the goalposts. It's like, oh, it's trying too hard. You fucking dick.
You fucking dork. What, they've shown Brian getting a splinter? Would that have been disturbing enough for you, you fucking moron?
And the icing on the cake is Brian gets a splinter in the end.
As I tend to forget, is Family Guy a comedy show? If so, how the fuck could any of this be considered funny? And no, I'm not playing that Nicolas Cage clip because it's the most annoying meme that the internet has ever spawned. Actually, I'm surprised that the episode didn't reference it itself. Stoners, can you please help me out here? Are bad trips anything like this? Or are the animators trying to freak people out with their own demented imaginations? And jump scare! And none of this is ever mentioned again.
I like that he said stoners, but I don't think weed does that, buddy. I think that's like harder drugs, like magic mushrooms.
Yeah, like people would be like, he's talking about people who like trip or like psychonauts, like people who do that shit, right? Like, if that's how unaware he is, like, did you get a bad trip smoking a doobie? Oh no!
Edger will be like, "Oh, I'm so hungover. I had energy drinks last night. Oh
man, I had half a can of beer that my dad gave me. Oh,
that Bud Light is really kicking in, guys. Oh, gee."
Man, wait until he tries Bud Dark. Also, here's another fucking nostalgia critic gag. Like, he doesn't have his own jokes, so he takes someone else's.
Yeah. I think I definitely see. You can see that he's inspired by nostalgia critic.
Yep, pretty much. They just spent about 2 minutes trying to disturb the fuck out of you with the most horrific imagery they could think of.
One of the most, like, disliked nostalgia critic gags. Or I guess that's a chick gag, but she always sucked. But, like, that's the thing that pisses me off the most is him, like, complaining about the lack of animation in a bottle episode. And then when the animation team shows up and goes, "Hey, here's a very well animated depiction of Brian's internal trip."
Yeah.
He goes,
"Don't too hard, try too hard.
How is this funny?" Well, you know, and I hate explaining the fucking joke, but the joke is that this stuff is not typically like an episode of Family Guy. So when he snaps out of it and it returns to an episode of Family Guy, you go, "Wow, that was pretty weird.
That was crazy." Yeah.
It's not the most highbrow comedy, but like, fuck me, man. What do you want?
It's Family Guy. It is like the most lowbrow comedy there is.
The lowest common denominator we're talking about, and he's just like, this is polarizing. This is upsetting.
They're never going to mention it again. With half of the episode completely wasted, the A-plot can actually get on the roll. And because the writers don't know what the hell they're doing, we hear Brian thinking in the background because some idiot thought it could be considered comedy. Meg starts standing up to her family, starting with Chris. Now, this is awfully similar to Putting Your Hoof Down, isn't it? Where one character berated a couple of others.
I told you that. Did you grab that episode, man? I told you he hates that.
Yeah,
hurtful, and they are hurtful towards her. This is how you do a Reason You Suck speech correctly. Now, here's the really, really strange part. If they didn't do that one part correctly, then this episode might not have been so bad.
I think Brian's getting a little water in there. Still drinking.
Peter, I want to shove a shotgun up your ass so badly. I'm just afraid that I'll get covered in your shit if I do.
How dare you, Peter Griffin? How dare you make jokes?
It's like a really, like, of all the things to, like, get that vehemently upset about, you're like,
Peter Griffin making jokes about...
Peter, I can't believe you made a simple observation about Brian being thirsty. Like how dogs are thirsty sometimes.
He just cuts off his fucking Peter Griffin tattoo, dude. He's like, "We're done."
I can't believe they brought Brian back after he passed away tragically.
Annoying water lapping in the background, Meg turns her criticisms on Lois. It's great because these are the exact criticisms that Family Guy fans have been lobbying for years.
Oh God, that feels so much better. Hey everyone. I'm sensing a lot of negativity here.
It's amazing how they can make a character extremely annoying in the span of 2 minutes. And then we get a cutaway that's all kinds of racist, but doesn't even bother to have its racism make sense. That cutaway, understandably, put Brian to sleep. Thank God. Or I guess in his case, thank atheist God. So.
Thank atheist God?
Oh man.
Is he? I thought he was. Is Mr. Enter a Christian? I didn't know. Is he an atheist? Is he a Christian? I don't know what's
I
his
think
deal.
I think he was criticizing Brian being an atheist, because I believe Brian's an atheist, but he's also a fucking talking dog. So I wouldn't take it that seriously, man.
Also, like, God is canonical in the Family Guy universe,
Yeah.
as is Jesus, so...
Yeah, both of them. I like. There's a whole fucking episode about Jesus, if I recall correctly. Like, man, this guy fucking kills me with this shit.
Oh, Meg criticizes Lois?
Oh, my problems? Oh, I see. Is this coming from my role model mother? The shoplifter, the drug addict, the porn star, the whore who let Gene Simmons and Bill Clinton go to town on her?
And that turns her to tears. Since these things are actual problems, it comes off as very satisfying and cathartic. By the way, this dramatic zoom here, I love how they do it 3 goddamn times. Then Peter, being the idiot he is, calls Meg Harry Potter. It's his turn, and it actually takes a while for the criticisms to pierce his thick head.
No education, you have no interest, you just do whatever reckless thing you want to do, whenever you want to do it, without regard for anyone else. Oh, and when you're not terrorizing the community with your impulsive escapades, you're being a total jerk to your family. You shove your daughter's face in your ass and you fart on it. If someone in the outside world could see the way you treat me, you would be in jail.
It eventually gets to him. He tells Lois to back him up, and that reduces them all to bickering. I mean, the whole damn family gets into a fight. And that leads us to another cutaway, trying way too hard to be racist. Peter runs away crying, and everyone else
I think it did quite well at being racist, actually.
I mean, it's not hard to be racist.
Yeah. You know, Depresston, you're a racist, so let me ask. That was a good ass segue. Like, are there any days where you look in the mirror and go like, I just gotta really apply myself if I'm gonna offend these minorities, right?
Today, I point to myself in the. I am enough. I will.
Like, how do you fucking practice being racist? How do you get good at it? What the fuck is this man talking about?
Scatters. And then Brian starts to talk to Meg. You know that trope, the status quo is God? There's no way.
Oh, here we go! Okay, this man showed his power level by referencing TV tropes.
Dude.
Christ almighty, man. Like,
this guy probably just browses it for fun, honestly.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And goes like, it shows up a lot in Family Guy.
Why do they restart at the... Why does Peter miraculously get healed between scenes? I don't get it.
I don't understand. Why would that happen?
Worse than it was done here. I mean, Roseanne making an entire season just a dream? That's nothing against what's about to happen.
You know, that was pretty cool, the way you finally stood up to everybody.
I don't know, Brian. I mean, I meant every word of it, but you saw what happened.
What do you mean?
They all turned on each other like a pack of wolves.
Yeah, that tends to happen. People don't like to be criticized, so they end up throwing a tantrum.
So what? That's not your problem.
Do you think it's possible that this family can't survive without some sort of lightning rod to absorb all the dysfunction?
Lightning rod, huh? Wait for it. I'm gonna go into the next room and break a few windows to let my...
You know that, like, fucking gif of, like, Adam Driver punching the drywall?
Yeah.
Like, that's how I picture fucking Mr. Ender when he sees a cartoon he doesn't like, he just fucking punches a hole in his wall. Like,
Yeah, whenever he watches Peter Griffin make a, like, racist joke, he's like, ah!
He just pulls the fucking, like, Ryan Gosling Blade Runner, kick the chair. Like, God damn it!
My anchor cool, so I can articulate how
You guys
god-awful
are
this piece of
right,
animation
give
is.
myself a gold star every time I'm racist.
It's a theory, I
And
guess.
you deserve everyone,
It's not
Depresston.
ideal.
Oh, thank you, man.
It's an
Ebony and
important
ivory,
piece of
right?
me.
Ebony and ivory.
It's just my lot in life to provide. Maybe if I feel bad.
You good?
He's just like putting fucking glass shattering sound effects over this.
Oh, he added that. That was...
Yeah.
I thought...
No,
joke in the background of the episode.
yeah,
where...
no,
you're
This
right.
family can't survive
Fucking
without
right.
some sort of
He
light.
made that stupid joke about breaking windows because the scene made him upset. And then he added
King Rod to absorb all the dysfunction?
like stock
Lightning
sound
rod,
effects
huh?
and
Wait for
glass
it.
breaking.
I'm gonna go into the next room and break a few windows to let my anchor cool so I can articulate how god-awful this piece of animation is.
It's a theory.
You hear a move, for fuck's sake.
It's not ideal.
Oh, Milk Slayer Hod Tower donated $1. God damn, I can't read that fast. Hello, Branson CIA. Happy Thursday. Fuck, man, I'm so bad at this shit. I'm gonna read all of them at the end. They don't stay on long enough, god damn it.
But it's an important piece that maybe it's just my lot in life to provide. Maybe if I feel bad.
How many windows does he have? Does he live in a fucking chapel?
This guy lives in a trailer. Fucking Christ.
I'm gonna read the donos I got in because I feel bad for them going away.
No, go ahead.
Read them.
Go ahead.
And then we'll get right back. We'll get right back into this shit. This shit is killing me, man. I love this dude. I did read Boda's, so thank you, Boda. Ted Comment, $5 said he was mad there were no 9/11 references, but he didn't notice the Muslim security guard. What I'm basically saying is that Red was an inside job. And Milk Slayer Hod Towered said, hello, Brains and the CIA man. Happy Thursday from the land called Rurikstead? Rurikstead? Where the fuck do you live, man?
Dude, what the fuck? Is that a Fable 2 reference?
This guy lives in fucking Oblivion. What the fuck?
P.S. That does sound like a fucking Oblivion town.
Waiting for fucking, yeah, it's like Emperor Septim to show up after that shit. P.S. Can you tell Sparky to take a shower? He's starting to smell like a cat. Yeah, he's got to do that. He's supposed to smell like a dog, not a cat. Get on that, man. But thank you so much for the donations. Sorry I can't read them live. I'm far too stupid to do so.
And far too lazy.
And far, yeah, and I'm pretty lazy. Yeah, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. All right, back to this monstrosity.
They don't have.
You mean atrocity? Oh, an anime.
Oh, hey, there it is.
The guys is still breaking. I just love that. I love that he complained about that earlier Family Guy thing. You know, the whole why did it take 55 seconds, and then he's doing this stupid window breaking bit for like a minute straight, dude. Zero self-awareness.
Hearing him audibly sit down is fucking hilarious, though. They're just like so fucking angry, just like. So anyway,
that'll teach them.
Yeah, you really showed Seth MacFarlane.
First thing I want to say, and I truly do mean it this time, is fuck you. Fuck you to hell and back, you insensitive, immature morons! You are suggesting that people who are being abused should stay in abusive relationships for their abuser's benefit. And this isn't played for laughs like Plankton's suicide attempt. This is dead straight. It's the moral of the episode. It is not noble to take someone else's shit in abuse. Yes, it takes a strong person to live in an abusive relationship, but it takes a stronger person to get out of it. If you're in an abusive relationship, then the best
abuse victims leave just before it gets all better.
You're right. The amount of abusers who turn a new leaf immediately after being abusers for 2 decades and go like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry I was a bad parent.
Yeah.
Turns out I was being a real bonehead.
Yeah, I was being a real nincompoop, you could even say.
Oh, man, I feel like a grade A heel. I'm sorry for all the years of abuse.
thing you could do is to get out of it. Tell someone, the authorities, your teacher, anyone. What about them and their benefit? Fuck them and their benefit. If someone is hurting you in such a way, they don't deserve to be a part of your life.
She's a cartoon girl talking to a dog, man. Like the gag is that Meg is routinely bullied. And she's recognizing that that is her character role in the show of Family Guy. She is not a complacent abuse victim, you fucking idiot. I don't think you've ever met someone who's dealt with abuse. Have you ever volunteered at a shelter? Of course you haven't, you fucking smelly nerd. You're too busy watching cartoons. There are no cartoons to watch at the homeless shelter, you fucking prick! What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You have no fucking ground to stand on with this stupid argument, and you're speaking from the perspective of someone who only lives through televised cartoon media. So shut the fuck up, cut your stupid beard with your goddamn Play-Doh scissors, you fucking idiot!
Oh, that got you heated. Fuck.
It did, because I've known people who've actually dealt with situations like this, and they certainly didn't say, well, Meg Griffin from Family Guy could endure her abuse.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stay strong, just like Meg Griffin from Family Guy.
Okay, yeah, so Rurikstead's from Skyrim. I figured as much. Yeah, sorry I said Oblivion.
Oh, you're right. I play more Fallout than I play Skyrim, so...
Yeah, I haven't played Skyrim in a minute.
Life and never did in the first place. The only thing they deserve to be is a distant memory. But Family Guy, you would know that, wouldn't you? Because your very next episode was all about how domestic abuse is bad for everyone involved. I guess unless it's involving your butt monkey, right?
Making an episode like that is asexual, but do you think he really wants to get with Meg Griffin?
Like... Doug, he ain't asexual by choice. He did not choose to be asexual. The world made him asexual.
Asexual by necessity.
Yeah, the world said, like, nah, you ain't having any cookie. Sorry. Bye-bye. And, you know, even fucking Meg Griffin would probably get with... Who's that nerd character?
Chris.
No, not Chris. You know, the Jewish nerd son. Neil? Neil? I want to say his name's Neil.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
It could also just be wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But, like, he was
I watch Family Guy as, like, background noise, not, like, actually sit down and watch it.
Well, for anyone who's fucking sane and functions normally, it is background noise. You know, nobody watches Family Guy with their hands, like, folded over their mouth going, like, what did Brian mean by this?
What did Brian mean whenever he slept with that with Quagmire's dad, you know?
It's just fucking stupid. That's it. That is it. It's just meant to be stupid and occasionally funny.
Yeah, Neil, thanks, Spyro. It's Neil.
Neil.
So.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Meg would pick Neil over Mr. Enter because Mr. Enter is one, an adult man.
Yeah.
And two, somehow grosser than the stereotypical nerd in this show.
Isn't covering your ass. It's making you a hypocrite. You know what? I don't want to continue. What else is there to say? Meg apologizes to her abusers for calling them out on their abuse and continues to take the abuse. And this is apparently a happy ending because blah blah blah, the status quo is God. A vengeful God that wants the earth to burn and to send us all into hell.
Hi, I'm Stewie Griffin. Tonight's Family Guy was a very special episode about drug use, but the simple fact is, it's no laughing matter. To learn more about drugs, visit your local library. There's probably a guy behind there who sells drugs.
Because domestic abuse and dysfunction.
Like,
So
I just can't imagine being this, like, miserable about a Family Guy episode.
You know, he started screaming when Stewie did that little gag right there, you know?
And, like, that's kind of a good gag, too, of, like, saying, like, oh, you thought that this was the main plot, Lamau, right? You know, that's a funny little joke. I'm not saying any of this shit is groundbreaking by any measure.
Family Guy very rarely has groundbreaking humor.
Family Guy is very adept at getting a snort of air and a smirk consistently out of people. Like, rarely do you get a fucking belly laugh watching Family Guy. But that's very amusing.
I want to see him react to the episode where they're trapped in the vault and they try and do a serious episode of Family Guy.
Oh, the Stewie and Brian one. Yeah, that episode's weird. I know a lot of people like laud that episode as a great episode when I always thought it was so bizarre to have them like dump their feelings and have Brian go, "Well, Stewie, I'm going to kill myself." You know?
Wow, Brian, that's really deep. You should be nominated for a Grammy for that.
Wow, Brian, this is clearly an attempt to get an Emmy. Yeah,
Wow,
Stewie, it
Brian,
is.
you're gonna blow your brains out? You deserve a Grammy for that.
I don't
We can't
wanna-
say Emmy because the studio will sue us.
I don't want to live anymore, Stewie. I like how my Brian just slowly becomes Barack Obama the more I do it. Well, Stewie, the American people?
Is that Barack
Functional
Obama?
families
Oh
are
my
just
god,
comedy.
he's in
But
here
yes,
as well.
according to them, you should go find out about drugs by doing them. What the living hell? I say that this is worse than one-course meal because no one is going to try
That's
to drive...
It's a fucking stupid but kind of funny joke, you jerk!
Oh my god, he's so bad. Like, first of all, no kid's gonna be watching this, you dumbass. Anyone who's watching this is an adult, you know.
Many of which who have done drugs and know about the frequency of homeless people in the vicinity of libraries. Okay, like it's a funny joke. It's a funny but stupid joke. Mr. Enter probably would serve himself well doing some drugs. He's got to get his shit together, man. He should smoke crack with the homeless. That shit would be dope.
What is this?
No, we gotta skip. We're gonna skip to the Turning Red one, and then we'll work our way back because we can't watch the Quagmire's sister gets abused episode without seeing the infamous Turning Red is not a mixed bag.
Oh, I watched Turning Red again.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
And I actually liked it more this time. No.
Oh, that's not what I want. Did he unlist the other one?
Surely we can find it. we gotta find it real quick, man.
Oh, we gotta find it real quick. We'll watch something else in the meantime, but if you can research the Turning Red 9/11 rant, we need it raw. I don't want someone reacting to it desperately. Shit, my bad. I didn't know he released a second Turning Red video. I thought that was the OG one. But we will watch Putting Your Hoof Down because he's referenced it several times now.
Yeah. At least twice. Let's see
This is like a foreboding amount of silence here, too.
Shit. I'm trying to...
like again, he's making... The atmosphere here is, like, tense for a My Little Pony episode.
He wants you to know this is not good.
This episode is really bad, guys.
I'm going to be blunt. If you like this episode, there's nothing wrong with that.
Look, there are two types of people in the world. People who like putting your hoof down and people who don't like putting your hoof down. And all I'm saying is the people who like putting your hoof down vote.
But you might want to leave now because I have very few good things to say about it. I really hate this episode. I mean, I really hate it. How badly do I hate it? I just might be ready to declare it the worst episode.
Oh no! God damn it. We better... We're taking L's on this shit.
We fucking are, dude. Fuck.
We need...
There it is. Second one. Is that it?
Second one?
Putting your hoof down.
I think
I'm
that's...
going to...
Yes!
Oh! So it is the same... It's the same fucking audio.
He
just
he didn't have his horrible
modern
old guy.
sprite.
Modern
We also
sprite.
gotta talk about his art on a lot of these old kid Mr. Enter. They're just so
Absolutely, we do.
To be blunt, if you like this episode, there's nothing wrong with that. But you might want to leave now because I have very few good things to say about it. I really hate this episode. I mean, I really hate it. How badly do I hate it? I just might be ready to declare it the worst episode of the show, on the spot. The only thing saving it from that status right now is a couple of episodes ahead I still have to get to. With that being said, let's begin. This episode starts with Fluttershy feeding her animal friends. Then she gets to Angel, who launches his bowl of food onto her head. For some reason...
Alright, again, doormat character stops being doormat is the premise of the fucking show. Doormat character goes, I'm not going to be a doormat anymore. And then comes to her senses when she starts upsetting people. That's it. That's it. fucking stupid. Like,
I also noticed he has these little exclamation points up in the top left, and I guess that means how many strikes that they get before.
Oh god! Is this the infamous part of his rating scale?
I got the fucking original video.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you,
but
Jesus.
someone
All right.
fucking. But I managed to find a fucking link to it. I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Hell yeah! Depresston coming in clutch.
And I don't find this funny, but Fluttershy thought ahead and prepared a salad. Yeah, that's right. If a spoiled little shit flips a bowl over your head, you reward him. And even that reward isn't good enough for Angel. He wants something special. The fuck? Okay, you two dumbasses. You want to start at the bottom? You'll start at the bottom. Was that supposed to be funny? Were we supposed to laugh at Angel bitch slapping Fluttershy? Whichever you two thought that would be funny, please never write again. Yes, that wasn't slapstick. That was domestic violence. Yes. I know this episode is about Fluttershy learning to stand up for herself, and we aren't supposed to want to see this. But first of all, the bowl on her head was enough to get the point across. Secondly, if that was the case, then Angel would have gotten some sort of consequences for his actions in this episode. He doesn't get any sort until Discord messes with him and Keep Calm and Flutter on. Oh god, how I love that episode. I know that he's a rabbit, but he's been shown just as sentient as ponies, and that was horrid, even for him. Hell, that was horrid for Diamond Tiara. And that sets the plot into motion. Yeah, we're only 1 minute in. Get comfortable. So, Fluttershy goes into town to gather up ingredients for you-know-who, and it turns out that everyone else in town is a dick! Yeah, we got the worst of both worlds here. Logic takes a backseat to the plot, a la Charlotte Fullerton, and it's horribly mean-spirited, a la Meriwether Williams.
Well, like...
There you are. Fuck.
Oh, did you not? Oh, shit.
I have not heard you for, like, the past, like, 2 minutes.
Fuck, I must have fucked up my sound. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's fine. I was just
because I was screeching a lot. So like, this is exactly what I was getting at with him talking about episode titles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now he's talking about the specific hallmarks of writers on the staff of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. You see where I'm coming from, and that's very absurd. Most people don't fucking know about the staff of these shows.
But he knows, like, he knows him for SpongeBob, he knows him for this shit, you know? He knows it for Family Guy, so I guess it's, like, his favorite shows, which is a little bit better, but overall,
yeah, it's still pretty bizarre, man. Like, you know, I can see liking a certain, I don't know, maybe a really gifted screenwriter or something.
Yeah, like, you notice, oh, this guy writes all the best episodes of fucking whatever.
Yeah, you go like, oh great, a such and such episode. He's really good at this, right? But you're probably watching a show that's not for, 7-year-old girls when you're saying that. This is fucking unreal that he's like, oh, a classic Meriwether Williams plot point.
Also, I want to point out, I fucking died, dude. Whenever he's like, this is not funny, this is domestic abuse. When the fucking rabbit smacked the girl or whatever.
He's a rabbit! He's a fucking... And again, the joke is, even though he's a soft, cute rabbit, he acts like an asshole, right?
That's the joke, but no. This fucking dumbass doesn't understand comedy.
Angel the rabbit is a domestic abuser to Fluttershy.
They even gave it... Wait, that was Angel? Yeah, they even gave him the name Angel. It was clearly a juxtaposition joke.
It's a juxtaposition that, despite his appearance and name, he's a complete dick.
Whose idea was it to put them together? Once again, I know we're not supposed to want to see this. We're supposed to increasingly want to see Fluttershy stand up for herself. But the way this episode is written, I'm instead thinking of where the hell all these assholes came from. Remember in the last episode?
No, I don't remember in the last fucking episode.
Not shown a single asshole.
Look at all these ponies who aren't dicks. That's again, like, the blissful unawareness of Mr. Enter is that, like, he doesn't realize that, no, none of us do remember the last episode of this fucking show.
Well, I guess he expected us to watch every single one of his fucking MLP reviews.
Yeah, it's like, if you recall the last episode of the television run of this show, like, come on, man.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah, what happens to that Ponyville?
One exclamation point.
Okay,
You know,
he's not that pissed off yet, but it's red. Is it tier? Is it tier based on color too, or what?
No, it's gone down, dude. We started with like 5.
Yeah.
Down to 1.
What's his system though?
Whatever makes him angry, because he is God and we are stupid. We are stupid.
All right, we'll find out. I think the green exclamation marks at the start were okay though.
Yeah, the green ones.
And now we're on red.
Yeah, we're on red. We've gone down.
This is so difficult to fucking figure out. Like,
yeah, Casma, this is awful. Don't worry, we agree with you.
Yeah, we're not here because we're fans.
Fluttershy runs into Pinky and Rarity, and guess what? They're assholes in this episode too. Rarity seduces Asparagus out of this nerd stereotype. And Pinky does the old bugs.
He got offended. He got offended because that looks like him, dude.
I'm sure he could fucking relate to a pretty girl using him.
Funny trick to scam a store vendor. You realize that, right? But yeah, I do like a good reference to the classics. So here's the deal. I'll concede that that's funny, but that's about as funny as the episode gets.
Oh,
then
so you can gain
Fluttershy comes
points
across
back
this
if
asshole who
okay.
sees that she's desperate and charges an outrageous price for it. Of course, Fluttershy screws up both Rarity's and Pinky's tricks because, I don't know. I guess she's stupid for this one scene.
That's
and
totally
the next,
reasonable,
where she points out
Tusky,
that there's no
that,
cherry on top of the salad. And that gets Angel to throw her out of the house. Fluttershy gets punted into the mail and sees a flyer for assertiveness training, and she decides to go for it. Haha, more slapstick! If I didn't find it funny when Dash didn't get cider, I definitely don't find it funny that Fluttershy is getting abused at every opportunity.
I'm sure someone has drawn Angel in the like Italian wife beater and like black slacks, going like, "Hey, what the fuck is this, Fluttershy? I'm a rat."
I work 9 hours a day just for this shit. Get the fuck out of here.
I come fucking home and this is what you make me with, a fucking cherry.
Fucking cherry.
You dumb bitch.
Here we meet Iron Will, who is a Minotaur. He excites the crowd, and is so assured in his lessons that he offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee. If they aren't 100% satisfied, they pay nothing. Since Fluttershy is the only one in the audience who isn't excited, his goat minions, I don't know, bring her on stage in an attempt to prove that anyone can benefit from his lessons. It boils down to this: if someone is...
It's abundantly clear that, like, he's never been to, like, a public speaking event, because they do shit like that all the time. Like, they'll especially with, like, motivational speakers, that's very common, that they'll have people, like, vet the audience and find the easy mark.
Mm-hmm. Of course, then again, why would he go to a public speaking event, dude? That's not
it seems like he's not even aware of how they fucking work. It's like, shit, man. I just don't get that he's lived in, like, an incubator. He's basically like a bubble boy to the rest of life. And then but if it's about a cartoon, it's different.
As an asshole, you be a bigger asshole.
Sorry. Don't be sorry. Be assertive. Never apologize when you can criticize.
Don't mind if I do, you big blue far-faced dick. Fluttershy really seems to like this idea. So the abuse tour is all over and the episode gets better, right? Yeah, sure, it gets better. No, it gets worse. Although I wasn't sure how they would top that, but they found a way. First of all, remember all those assholes that came from nowhere in the beginning of the episode? Yeah, they went back into the ether, never to be seen again. Usually in your average Lifetime movie of the week, the abused starts taking revenge on the assholes who abused her. None of the assholes in this episode face any consequences. Instead, Fluttershy goes after other assholes, starting with her gardener. From The Best Night Ever? That's an odd cameo. After he overwaters her flowers, she overwaters him. And Fluttershy is excited that it actually works. Believe it or not, that is the only justified action in the entire episode. No, I'm not kidding. 2 more stereotypes, this time Valley Girl,
has a real
by blocking
eye for
the bridge
an eye
when they don't
fucking
move.
philosophy. So
He
it's like,
does.
Why don't she abuse them back? Like, fucking.
That's yeah. I'm just waiting for fucking Fluttershy to like go up to Spike and go like, "Don't come to Canterlot tomorrow."
You know, if Edgar was like. Yeah, because if Edgar was like black, he would be like, "Why don't we own like the white people as slaves for like 3 years?" You know?
Yeah, he would be. He'd be like a black Israelite or like
he would
like a 5%er. He'd be like, the white man needs to be subjugated by us.
He's like, we have an ice dweller in the chat. We have a Neanderthal in the chat.
I just think of Fluttershy like going full Dylan Klebold in this episode. Just spiking her hair up, get the trench coat.
It's a trench coat. Gets like a natural selection t-shirt as well.
Yeah, Fluttershy shows up with the Wrath t-shirt. You people walked over me when I was nice to you.
Move. Fluttershy coats them with garbage. Fluttershy's a Pegasus. She has wings. You see the problem, right? She can fly over.
What? And ruin the plot?
Fluttershy enters Sugar Cube Corner, and hey, a new asshole appears! Seriously, where the fuck are these guys coming from? Before in the market, you can make an argument that the stand owners were justified in their behavior, since Fluttershy was acting timid. But now they're just coming from nowhere, specifically to cause Fluttershy to flip. And here's where the episode goes from bad...
This is how regular life is.
Yeah.
People are jerks all the time.
Dude has never stood in line before.
Yeah, people are assholes all the time. It's just life, man. Like, that's what kind of makes it funny, is that this timid pastel horse is basically dealing with like regular ass people.
Yeah.
Despite the setting. And then she loses her shit because she took a single motivational course way too seriously. How is this hard for him to grasp?
I don't know, man. He's
too abysmal.
Like...
Rary and Pinky are proud of who they call New Fluttershy, and that causes Pinky to laugh. This causes Fluttershy to go on a rampage because, I don't know. Pinky is one of your best friends, and she represents the element of laughter. You've got to be used to her random bouts of giggling by now. Speaking of which, yeah, kindness? Another asshole appears. Hey, can we get a counter in here to see how many assholes have appeared? And only count the ones that have appeared in this episode.
Why are you talking like he has an assistant?
Yeah.
Hey, you, over there. I need you to start counting these assholes.
This had to have been early in his career, so you know he was doing all the fucking editing by himself.
Yeah.
You can tell by how shit it is.
Yeah,
so he's talking to himself, I guess.
But he's implying he has like this is Enter HQ, and he's just like snapping. Hey, you, layabout. We're trying to make a cartoon review here.
This is a game.
So don't count Angel, and I guess don't count Fluttershy.
What I do. The things I've seen.
Yeah, but that's the point of the fucking episode. The point of the episode is that she's surrounded by dickheads.
He was mad about a taxi cab. Dude has never been to New York.
You see my problem, right? All of these one-shots are here just to push Fluttershy over the edge. And is she flipping the bird? Pinky and Rarity also see how badly this episode is panning out. Now Fluttershy is shouting at her animal friends, and she goes beating up the mail pony when he gave her the wrong mail. And then she punts a tourist. What am I supposed to be feeling here? Am I supposed to have a you go girl kind of reaction? Whoop.
No, she's taken this guy's teaching way too seriously, and it's gotten out of hand. This is a children's cartoon. Like,
I'm going to assume that the moral of this episode is standing up for yourself, but knowing the difference between standing up and being an asshole.
Correct.
I guess Enter doesn't fucking understand that.
This is the kind of lesson that is developed with like
children
9-year-olds in mind, man. It's killing me, Enter. Come on. Fluttershy's a beautiful Aryan horse. Nameless.
Nameless. Good one.
Good one. This, like, anytime Depresston comes on, it's like if like a white guy took over the BET. It's just like, nah, you know what you guys need.
Boondocks.
Yeah.
That's all it would be.
Actually, you might improve the network. BET's terrible, so if it was just like Boondocks over and over again, that'd be great.
Woohoo, yeah, you go girl, go assault the random passerbys. Pinky and Rarity finally try to stop her, and then we get, in my opinion, the worst moment of the entire show.
We think that you've taken your assertiveness training a little too far. What? You just want new Fluttershy to be a doormat like old Fluttershy. Old Fluttershy is gone! New Fluttershy! Old Fluttershy! What happened to nice Fluttershy? We want that Fluttershy back. No, you want wimp Fluttershy. You want pushover Fluttershy. Fluttershy complicated for your simple little brain.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, Cody. Welcome back, man.
Let's not let things descend into petty insults. Why not? I thought petty was what you're all about, Rarity, with your petty concerns about fashion. Hey, leave her alone. Fashion is her passion. Oh, and what are you passionate about? Birthday cake? Party hats? I can't believe that the two most frivolous ponies in Ponyville are trying to tell new Fluttershy how to live her life when they are throwing their own lives away on pointless pursuits that no pony else gives a flying feather about.
Damn, I mean, chill, Fluttershy. Goddamn.
Damn.
Damn, bitch, chill. This really is like going into your work and just calling out like everyone there. Go like, you fat bitch, you don't do anything around here. I always fucking hated you and your stupid outfits. Fuck you, man.
You purposely fucking leave shit on the floor. You know you do.
This is the absolute equivalent of like, I'm quitting my job and let me insult everyone here before I leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to basically just tone it down for like little kids, which again is very funny. And these two ponies are pleading for fucking reason. Let us see how Mr. Enter perceives this.
I'm sure he'll be very mature about it.
Use negative numbers. Let me explain what just happened. If this episode didn't make it painfully, cringe-inducingly clear, Fluttershy just insulted two of her best friends' reason for living. I don't even know what to say about that. You go, girl. Emotionally scar your best friends. She just said that.
I don't even believe that you can be this autistic. Okay, I don't. I've met plenty of autistic people as a co-host of Rogue Internet Band Show. I've probably met all of them. You know, I'm talking to them like they're Pokemon. But there's a difference between maybe having some difficulty figuring out social cues and whatever the fuck this is. This is such a straight-ahead message.
This feels like willful ignorance. He came into this wanting to hate it. That's what I'm getting so far, you know?
Yeah, because, like, it's abundantly clear that she comes to realize the error in her ways and goes, wow, I can't believe I insulted my two closest friends. How terrible of me. I hope they can forgive me. And then they do. And she realizes that there's a difference between being assertive and being an asshole.
From what I can tell, I mean, we already know that he likes Nostalgia Critic, judging from the clips in that one fucking Family Guy episode. I feel like he's trying to pull off a little bit of Nostalgia Critic where he'll purposely, like, get messages, like, in movies wrong, you know, and overreact.
Yeah.
But the difference is, Doug's putting on a character.
Yeah.
Doug's may not always be funny, but it's still a character.
Doug's, like, established that he's playing a character. Like, same with, like, James with the Angry Video Gamer. Yeah.
And honestly, they're both really cool guys in real life.
Yeah,
Enter
like,
is 100% serious.
He's
so
totally this guy. He's 100% this guy. If you met him out in the wild and said, hey, man, I really like your videos. What are your feelings on the Splinter now? He would go like, oh, don't get me started. You're like, there's no semblance of character here.
There is no difference between Mr. Enter and whatever his real fucking name is.
It's John, some Polish name.
Yeah,
but he prefers to refer to himself as John Enter, which is
so there's no difference between mysterious Mr. Enter and John Enter. That's it at the end of the day. They're the same person.
They're the same guy. They are 100% the same guy. Alex, that's a very fair point. Like, and you know, of course, I'm not trying to say anything polarizing. I kind of play a character myself. I'm playing like an exaggerated version of me.
I mean, same. Everyone.
You know, everyone does when you present yourself in this certain way. But, like, there's a difference between having difficulty with those kind of social cues and him, like, just choosing to ignore them.
It's because he hates the episode. He wants to, like, I want to give it the worst review I could. I hate this episode.
Yeah, he comes into these episodes so front-loaded, going like, yeah, that's all your shit, and let me tell you what. Like, he refuses to look at it from an actual critical lens. He just thinks it's dog shit, and here's why it's dog shit, and now I'm gonna leave.
Yeah. I mean, Enter is autistic, but both in like the derogatory sense and the actual sense. I know that much.
That they had stupid hair and they walked away, I wouldn't complain, considering that something like this needed to happen. But Jesus Christ, Fluttershy, you didn't need to verbally assassinate 2 of your best friends. This moment brought this episode from abysmal to irredeemable. If that didn't make you tear up at least a little, let me ask you this.
Of course it didn't make me fucking tear up. I'm a grown-ass man.
I don't know what any of these fucking techno-colored horses fucking do with anything.
There are moments in cinema that have made me emotional because they're like poignant, powerful moments. Yeah, this is a yellow horse talking to a pink horse and a white horse. Like, come on!
Fluttershy did one of 2 things. Either she made up a lie on the spot to emotionally cripple her friends, or she told them what she really thought of them, knowing they would hurt them in a horribly intimate way. Here's the question for you. Which would be kinder? Then there's that. Is Fluttershy in character here? I honest to God hope not. But how frequently she gets written as a psychotic sociopath? I really don't know. Don't believe me? Let's go down the list. She has no regards for the law. It takes a hair trigger to get her to flip. She has freaky intimidation powers. She's willing to do this to her best friends. And keep calling Flutter on, she uses her affections to manipulate others.
Okay, let's keep the buck here, man. You and I are not women, thankfully.
Yeah.
But the nightmarish world of being a woman and having female friends is hell on earth. Because they do this stuff to you constantly.
You know, if a guy friend doesn't like you, he's just gonna kind of be fucking blunt with you about it, you know?
Yeah, guys are usually pretty direct. And I will say that like Fluttershy is being like excessively direct, but you know, that's something that happens between girls all the time. They'll blow up, then they will forgive each other, then they will secretly not forgive each other, and then they'll blow up again.
And the cycle repeats.
And the
Kaz's
cycle
probably
repeats.
right. It's probably fucking with him so much because Fluttershy's probably his favorite.
That's
if I
true.
have to guess.
Like all shut-in meek weirdos, the cute, shy goth girl is the one that he gravitates to, rather than any of the assertive, strong ones.
The assertive, strong ones.
One of them's a fucking farmer, man. Like, of course he's gonna pick the one who's the least intimidating as a nerdy, weird shut-in. They all like Fluttershy because they're all pussies.
God, I hate that episode. People seem to like this episode because, yay, Fluttershy is actually doing stuff. Hello? I'd rather be annoyed by her constantly cowering than watching her do crap like this. And let's bring up Fluttershy's Discord itself. You do realize that while she was Discorded, the worst thing she did physically was toss a bucket on Cloud's head. And the worst thing she did emotionally was call others...
When she's meek and obedient.
Meek and obedient.
He likes that
wife. He wants that trad wife Fluttershy.
He wants to come home to a pastel horse who's made breakfast for him or dinner for him, and he gets to sit down and she goes, "How was your day, honey?" That's what he wants.
Like, oh, my wife, my beautiful Flutter wife, you don't understand. Fighting the media wars online is difficult.
Yeah,
I understand why 9/11 has to be represented in Turning Red.
I mean, that does imply that he left home to come home. He clearly didn't leave because he was talking about fucking cartoons on the internet.
Stupid. Anything else she did was the standard school bully crap. After Pinky and Rarity run away crying, Fluttershy looks into a puddle and realizes that she made some kind of whoopsie-daisy. Yes, Fluttershy, you should feel guilty. No, Fluttershy, you should feel beyond guilty. I'm not entirely certain that you realize exactly what you just did. You know, I don't think I'll forgive you until you walk a mile in both of their shoes.
What?
You will never get my forgiveness unless you go through, like, he's asking for, like, fucking penance from this fucking cartoon character. Like, she clearly came to that realization and went, "Oh my god, I've done something terrible here."
Upon their face, but no matter what I try, it seems a bit of a disgrace.
Well, you're halfway there. Her life isn't very simple now, is it? Sometime later, Pinky and Rarity come back. My god, I will never doubt the character of either of them ever again. Yes, kids, you can make your friends cry by playing off their insecurities, but if they're good friends, they'll come back just because they're good friends. Bite me! Oh, and so now we've got the help.
Did you not have friends?
No, dude. That's why he watches so many by himself.
It's like I've had disagreements with my close friends, and then we've come to a head about it and had a discussion, and forgave one another. It takes a bit. It takes a bit, but for one, you only got 22 minutes here. and for two, yeah, your friends will almost always follow up with you and go like, "Hey, man, that made me feel like shit."
Your friend,
yeah, yeah.
You'll feel bad. I don't know. This fucking.
If it's saying your friend insulted you once, cut him off. Cut him off if they're a jerk.
I am the Mr. Enter. Do you know what I do for a living? Get out of my sight.
What do you mean I smell and watch too many cartoons? Get out!
Helpful Angel back when Fluttershy wants to be tied up.
Pinkie Pie doesn't blame you, nor do I. You just received some bad advice from that Iron Will character.
Excusey?
He's the one that made you act super duper nasty.
Yeah, I remember the scene where Iron Will told Fluttershy to attack at the Slider's provocation, and the scene where he told her to be as violent and unpleasant as possible.
Why is he reading
this
so
remember the scene where he told her to
literally,
turn her friends into sopping piles of misery. Except that
Wait,
none of those scenes happened.
Said that the
Yes.
Iron Will guy was an asshole earlier, so why is he ending?
Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, of course Iron Will didn't say, attack anyone who disappoints you or upsets you. Yeah, of course he didn't say that, you fucking idiot. She misinterpreted his message.
Yes.
That's the fucking point of this stupid episode.
This stupid little kid show.
And he's taken every single moment of this at face value, where it's well, he didn't say you should insult your closest friends. That wasn't part of his lesson.
Yeah, Cody, you're probably right. He probably is a Redditor. I would not be surprised if John Enter uses Reddit.
This is Redditor behavior, undoubtedly.
I know they don't want to believe Fluttershy would do something like that. Hell, I don't want to believe that Fluttershy would do something like that. But here's the problem.
Exactly.
They ride this idea to the end, and the episode itself places blame on Iron Will for everything that happened. Iron Will comes to collect his payment. Pinky and Rarity try to use their techniques on Iron Will, but that doesn't work. If you think the jokes you already used will save this episode, then you are sadly mistaken. Iron Will throws both of them into the mud, and he tears open
Iron Will's kind of a Chad, man. Can't lie.
Payment is overdue, Fluttershy.
That's when you collect their payment before the seminar, dumbass.
Sounds
Fluttershy has finally found a happy medium and stands up to Iron Will, and takes advantage of his 100% satisfaction guarantee. Yeah, I don't remember the scenes where Fluttershy learned how to restrain herself either. Here's a new rhyme for you kids. Money back guarantee. Get advice for free.
No means no, huh? Nobody's ever said that to me before.
Hey, dumbasses. You realize the connotations of what you just wrote, right? Either that or they did know better and they did it anyway. And then we get a happy ending that, to be goddamn honest...
Yeah, because she stood up for herself in a reasonable way in that situation. And that's the fucking lesson. She didn't yell at him. She didn't beat him up. She just said, no, I'm not going to pay you for your bullshit, stupid course. And he went, all right, fine.
Honestly, he was very reasonable. He's like, oh, shit, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, she said, I'm not satisfied, and therefore I'm not going to pay.
And he accepted that. That was,
yeah.
Wait, what's the problem here? No, John Enter needs to be mad about something. Otherwise, he looks like a dumbass.
But he was mean, and then she was mean.
This episode doesn't
Why didn't she throw him in the wood?
She should have killed him.
Now I know how to put my hoof down without
Hey, what's good, Mink?
Yup, you did. I don't know when you did it, and I don't know how you did it, but you did it. My final score is on the screen right now. I didn't forget to put in any stars because this episode doesn't deserve any stars. This is my first 0 out of 5. Before this...
So perfect. Don't deserve any stars, episode of My Little Pony. You've hurt me irreparably.
You make me sick.
Do you know the things I've seen? I've watched the Splinter. This was on a different level.
This is like 2 Splinters. The SpongeBob, man, he's gonna be mad when they have Splinter 2 and he gets 2 splinters in each thumb.
Yeah. That would be a great episode of SpongeBob, dude.
Where both of his hands incapacitated. It's like, oh Christ, SpongeBob, me boy, you really fucked up here, huh? All right, yeah. So we're not watching Turning Red is not a mixed bag. We're watching Turning Red is a mixed bag.
Before we do this, is there anything you gotta read? Because I gotta take a piss.
Go ahead, take a piss. I'll chat with folks. I don't think I've received anything. If you guys want to send money, now's the time, because I can read your tips, and I can chat with each and every one of you, even the ones I don't want to chat with, like Nameless. Rogue does wish he was as cool as Mr. Enter. I'm sure that keeps Rogue up at night. I'm sure there are plenty of times where he tosses and turns in bed and thinks about long-form reviews of cartoons, but sadly that's not to be. What are we saying, though? How are we doing? You love me, BRAINZ? Thank you, Templar. I love you too. The classic. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Templar. It's I was reading a bit of what you were saying. That's cool that you're going to start streaming soon. Okay. Oh, thank you very much, Vi. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, Depresston, are you back, man?
Yeah, dude, sorry. I got a tiny bladder, so I gotta piss all the time.
You just gotta keep the Snapple bottle under the desk, my dude.
I was considering pissing in an empty bottle, but I decided against it.
The stakes are not that goddamn high. We're watching a man yell at cartoons.
So I watched Turning Red recently, the latest Pixar film. What took me so long to see this one? Well, I was actually avoiding it for a couple of reasons. Most notably, the trailer. I think
I want to ask first, have you watched this fucking movie yet?
I have, yeah.
Okay, I haven't, so I can't say anything about it.
It's not that good. I didn't like it very much. It had some moments in it, but I
mean, to be fair, I don't think we're the target audience, especially for this one.
No, not really. GG Anime just sent in $5 saying broke. But thank you very much for sending me $5 of your dwindling cash flow. Greatly appreciated. So is Pony's going to be my McLore? Fuck no. God no. No. No.
We're gonna watch all the episodes of MLP, dude.
Fucking no.
People who like this movie will agree that the trailer is really, really bad. Personally, it showed me that everything I didn't like in a movie would be in this one, with a super in-your-face attitude.
Oh, yeah, it is crazy seeing
everything I didn't like in a movie.
So that's exactly what the rail cars look like in Toronto. Like exactly, like 1-to-1.
I mean, wasn't I read somewhere the director, wasn't she like she grew up in Toronto?
Yeah,
right?
she grew up in Toronto, and she went to we have a very notable animation school outside of Toronto, and Disney often recruits from that school. So shout out Canada for that. But yeah, she grew up in Toronto, aka Hell on Earth, and she decided to base this movie in Toronto. God knows why. But Toronto sucks. All right, as a Canadian, Toronto sucks so much. Don't come here. If you the best thing that came out of Toronto is Drake, and that's terrible. So that should tell you everything.
Toronto?
Yeah, yeah, he's from Toronto.
He was an American.
No. Huh. Yeah, he's from Toronto.
Yeah, Kazma, I'm sure the movie is probably better if you are like a girl, because it's a whole movie about girl shit. But you gotta understand, we're both guys.
Yeah, yeah. we grew up with very different experiences. Even as a gay boy growing up, I'm still
in Toronto.
Yeah, I did grow up in Toronto. Yeah.
Well, yeah. You might be able to get a little bit more.
I can get slightly more out of this, and I'm still nah, this really doesn't resonate with me.
And honestly, that's fine. It's not a movie meant for me. It's a movie meant for girls.
Yeah,
But I love that Enter is so mad about it.
I wasn't a 12-year-old Chinese girl from Toronto, but you know, say la vie.
Would be in this one, with a super in-your-face attitude. And it didn't really make any arguments of how a transformation into a red panda could actually carry a movie. It seemed like an incredibly light, simple premise. And the other reason that I didn't want to watch Turning Red at first was because if I did, I knew I'd have to talk about it. And if I knew I had anything other than...
How is Enter, like... How many subs does he have? He has 254k subs and he still can't get a good mic?
I don't know, dude. I know my mic shit.
Yeah.
So maybe I shouldn't talk, but I also don't do this for a living. I'm just doing
He
this.
does it.
I've got...
He does it for a fucking living. Like,
yeah,
I got an okay mic. I wish I had a better mic.
Shitter mic. I'm doing this just because it's kind of fun and I'm bored. You know,
I couldn't imagine like drawing a fucking paycheck and not getting a good mic.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like peaking all the time.
Than super glowing praise for it, we were going to have another Turtles situation. So I watched the film, and I have something other than super glowing praise for it. And now I'm going to talk about it. With the chaos and the drama this movie has caused, it's really tempting to just go one way or the other. Praise it for being shocking and daring and tackling new ground, or to go in the other direction and absolutely eviscerate the film. It's really cementing itself with the Ghostbusters effect. It's not a movie, it's a political argument.
I can't lie, the stuff that they get right about Canada is like bang on. Like that one segment that they did, they like
daring
totally
and tackling itself with the Ghostbusters to go in the other direction.
They totally got our stupid money right. Like our money looks this goddamn dumb. Our money looks stupid as hell, man.
Yeah, it's because you guys don't settle out of color. You just monopoly money.
Yeah, and our money is like plastic too.
Jesus.
Yeah, you would hate it, man.
I've seen it before. I've been to Canada a couple of times.
Okay, that's
I've lived
sad.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, I live in New York. Or lived in New York, I should say. I've been to Canada a couple of times, only across the border near Niagara.
Oh, so probably like, did you go through like Montreal?
No, I never went to Montreal. Never went that far. My parents went there one time for like a anniversary thing, but not me.
Okay. Cool.
And I don't want to go to see fucking French people in Canada.
Yeah, it's horrible. I mean, Montreal's got a bunch of cool shit in it, but like, man, the French people are mad pretentious. I hate them.
The film. It's really cementing itself with the Ghostbusters
Aren't they like nicer to Americans than like actual Canadians?
Yes. Yeah, they have no respect for like Anglophone Canadians. They think we're scum. Like if I went to Quebec right now and I went like, bonjour, comment ça va? You know, if I said that, they would go, hello, how are you? Like immediately. They would stop speaking French to me.
Just out of
disgust.
That's amazing. That's so
I know,
funny.
man. It's horrible.
It's a political argument, like Thundercats Roar, High Guardian Spice, or Masters of the Universe Revelation before it, or She-Ra, or I can keep going on. These arguments are largely annoying, and they shouldn't be engaged in on any side of the argument, whether you're a defender or a detractor. If you're a detractor, it elevates the status of the movie and gives it more importance than it really deserves. If you're a defender, you obscure the actual merits of the movie and turn it into a target, which actually does hurt the artists in the long run, and hurts the actual political headway of whatever movement you're arguing for even more. Oh, that's not even mentioning that you're playing pawns to billion-dollar corporations that have packaged your
Why is he getting this goddamn sanctimonious? Dude, you've been watching, like, cartoons from Viacom and Disney for years up to this point.
Years. I mean, when did his fucking channel start?
2013.
2013. He's been doing this for a decade then.
Yeah.
So
it's like, is this now when you're taking a stance going like, I'm not going to empower the overlords?
No more.
No more. This is, I've benefited enough that I can take a stand.
We're ending capitalism once my package arrives from Amazon.
Yes. From there, I will use recycled goods only. Like, the thing that blows my mind about this, too, is he hasn't talked about the fucking cartoon from a, from an animation perspective. He's just been talking about, like, you know, these political talking points and talking about, like, the financial ramifications of this shit. Like, he refuses to just go, like, this is a very well-animated, like, expressive, fun show. Or movie, rather.
Even if he wants to criticize it, he's like, I don't like the Cal art style. I think it's Cal arts, kind of, right? Like,
yeah, it's got, like, the bean mouth kind of style, yeah. But, like...
very subtly, but it's still there. I can notice.
It's clearly quite well animated, though. Like, you'd have to really go out of your way to go, oh, this looks like shit.
Yeah, but then again, it's fucking Disney. I would be more surprised if it wasn't well animated, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Tusky sent in $1, saying, as someone who was the target demographic for MLP Fim, a female child, and based on his Turning Red review, I don't think Enter has been around women who aren't his mom. God damn, you didn't have to cook him.
Personal values and have sold them back to you. Turning Red is a mixed bag. Actually, I don't even know if that's the best way to describe it. It is the Pixar film that I am the most mixed on. There are Pixar films that I absolutely love, like Soul, WALL-E, or Ratatouille. There are Pixar films I don't like Cars 2. And then there are Pixar films I don't care about, like A Bug's Life or The First Cars. Turning Red is a film I'd probably like if it wasn't for some glaring problems that took me right out of the experience time and again. So Turning Red stars an Asian-Canadian girl named Miley, growing up in Toronto in 2002, where one night she learns that she becomes a giant red panda whenever she feels any particularly strong emotions. This is complicated by the fact that she has an overbearing mother, is going through middle school, and puberty. It's a fairly simple movie despite all the drama, and yet there's a ton to talk about. I'm going to start with what held me back from actually enjoying the movie, and that is May's mother, Ming.
Oh, he's just not a fan of the dragon mom stereotype, which is shockingly accurate if you've ever met a middle-aged Asian lady.
I've met middle-aged Asian women.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Oh, actually.
Rat King, that's fair. CalArts is a shit style, but the animation's pretty good. But I would argue that the person who directed this, I think she went to Sheridan, which is Canada's, like, premier animation school. And they don't really push the CalArts philosophy or, like, homogenous style. I get what you're saying, though. But yeah, I think fucking Enter just doesn't like women, man.
I'm gonna be dead straight with you. I hated this character so much that I thought I would have to stop watching the movie. Ming is a helicopter parent. The type who controls every little thing about their child's life and are super panicked that a slight deviation from their plan will harm their child. So they create this self-fulfilling prophecy, where they hurt their child so much more than the rest of the world could. Every time that Ming was on screen, I was angry. The two most infamous bits you've probably heard of. When she finds drawings of May's crush and drives her...
This pissed off dragon mom says, "You should apply yourself," and he just goes, Why would you get angry at this cartoon lady showing up? If she pisses you off so goddamn bad, just stop watching the movie, man.
He does. No, he felt like he had to keep going.
Down to the store to show the boy in them what May did. And the other time is when she came down to school unprompted to try and give May menstrual pads without any self-awareness that she was doing it in front of her whole class. There's also a third moment.
She's a traditional Chinese lady. Come on, man.
Here's the this guy has never not watched before. That's
she's like a fresh off the boat Chinese lady. Come on. It's because his stepdad abused him? Oh, damn.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Fuck, I mean...
Well, that's not funny.
Yeah, that's not funny at all.
I'm still gonna make fun of him, but...
I know, I was thinking, like, can I spin that into something? Nope. No jokes.
Moment that really struck me, and that's when May goes to Tyler's party, and Ming was so blind to any possible reasons that May might rebel, especially after the first two incidents, that she basically stops May from seeing her friends. Every time Ming was on screen, this was some of the most uncomfortable...
Goddamn, Kazuma has a really good take. Mr. Enter just doesn't like mean Asian MILFs. He might be the only nerd who doesn't want a dominant Asian lady. He's a rarity of his breed.
Pixar film has ever made me feel. And Nina,
I can't lie, I like
this
this
film about
lady.
puberty, in which the problem is
Yeah,
solved
she's-
with twerking. So, defenders will rush and say that this behavior is accurate, especially in Asian communities. And there's a kernel of truth to the kernel of truth here. Asian communities are definitely at least stereotypically strict in upbringing. So, pardon my ignorance. Is it realistic to take a child's drawing of a crush, drag her down to a convenience store, and confront the person in said drawing in a store full of people? Especially if you are under the delusion that these things actually happened.
No, it's not realistic. It's exaggerated because this is a fucking cartoon, man.
And it's meant to be a joke, you fucking dumbass.
Like, the Asian director-writer of this film probably took that, you know, took the domineering mom that she probably had and exaggerated those traits. Right? So no, her mom didn't make her confess her love to this guy who worked at the store.
No, Casper brought up a good point. These guys like enter either one dragon mom or a limp-wristed trad wife.
Yes.
Clearly, enter once the trad wife.
Yeah.
'cause-
Yeah,
Now,
they never just want a woman who like has like morals and ethics and can stand their ground. They either want someone who will like bend to your will or someone who will step on your balls. There's nothing in between. If she's not breaking my ribs or listening to me at all times, I don't want to talk to her.
Despite one of the drawings being the boy as a
space
merman.
that
Is
their
it really
mom pulled
realistic to try and directly give menstrual pads to someone and not leave them with a nurse at school? Ming's behavior is too over the top. Actually, no, it's not. That's actually the problem. The problem is that it's realistic. It's something that could feasibly happen if you were one of the worst, most brain-dead people on Earth. It's not like, say, Doofenshmirtz, who also had a hard upbringing. So hard that neither of his parents showed up for his actual...
I was not fucking ready for him to bring up Doofenshmirtz's traumatic childhood.
Oh my god.
That shit fucking killed me. It was like, now Professor Doofenshmirtz had a very difficult upbringing.
It's like when you're watching, I don't know if you've got game theory videos.
Yeah.
Pull up something fucking random, like as an example. It's like that.
I didn't know Doofenshmirtz's lore was this goddamn deep. I only watched a little bit of Phineas and Ferb growing up.
Actual birth. If you want to talk about realism, we need to talk about Encanto. This was a Disney film also about generational trauma, which seems to be the theme of the season. Mirabel's grandmother was guilty of pretty much the same things, being overly controlling, trying to keep her family in the perfect boxes that she imagined for them. Of course, Encanto didn't make me want to smash my computer because it was subtle. You could constantly understand the reasons that Alma was doing the things that she was doing, even if you didn't agree with them. And in the end, you want to see Alma get better, not have her taken away in the back of a police car. This is like trying to redeem Doofenshmirtz's parents and doing it in a realistic way, and have it all heartfelt at the end. This is not a combination that works. Ming doesn't come across as understandably or realistically strict at any point in the movie. She comes across as psychotic. Luckily for the film, anytime...
This guy really has not ever seen an actual Asian mom. They are pretty fucking nuts.
Do we know where the fuck Enter came from? Did you ever find that?
I assumed from an egg, but no, I didn't find that.
I was just because I feel like maybe I'm just wrong, but the way I'm picking him up, he doesn't have any experience or not very much experience with other races besides white people. Is what I'm getting from this. He doesn't understand how Asian like families act and all that, you know?
Yeah. He just like he reads everything from his lens and his lens alone. Yeah. Because like Encanto is like, okay, well, he has a bit of understanding of that culture, but he's probably missing a lot of the minutia of being like Latin,
being around Hispanic people,
and being around Hispanic people and all of that. Same with like he didn't mention Coco is very similar to the setup in Turning Red. Yeah. That's probably way closer to Turning Red. Is the grandma in Coco is very like controlling and demanding and doesn't actually give the kid a lot of chance to be themselves too, right? But he's clearly like cherry picking shit.
I mean, obviously,
yeah,
it's Enter.
Yeah,
anything that fits his narrative is going in.
Precisely. Ink says, I have an old school Puerto Rican family, I get it.
Time that Ming isn't on screen, the movie gets a lot better. I wouldn't call it one of Pixar's best, still, but it would have been a tier above something like Onward, which felt a lot like wasted potential. Part of the Ming problem actually comes from the movie's style. It is a very much in-your-face, and takes a lot of cues from anime, with even mundane things being shot as over the top as possible, which is a baffling choice if you're making something that's supposed to tell some kind of down-to-earth lesson. This movie really feels like it was made for the TikTok generation. I mean, it was, obviously, it was released in 2022, but the movie also takes place in 2002.
I don't get it.
This movie should have been made for me, a 25-year-old man. This cartoon doesn't speak to me because it's made for children.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's like, nigga, you are too old. Like, that's the big takeaway that, like, I'm sure Enter addresses in this follow-up video. Probably not, though, knowing him. That's like, dude, like, it's abundantly clear you don't realize that you've aged out of a lot of these themes.
You're an adult.
You're a man. This doesn't resonate with you because you're an adult man.
It's why I don't give a shit about Turning Red. Like, not in like a bad way. I just don't. It's not, my movie. It's not your movie.
Yeah, I watched it. I thought it was a fun, cute little movie. But I also understand, like, you, before we get to the big talking point I'm excited for.
Even everyone knows it's coming.
Even as, like, a Canadian person who grew up in this similar environment, and at this similar time as the director of this movie, being a boy changes your perspective on it a lot. This is clearly a coming-of-age movie for girls.
I mean, and that's fine. That's what the movie is. Enter just doesn't get that. But I want to point out, Star and Speculation said that Enter, she thinks that he's like 29, so he's like almost 30, and he's mad.
God damn, man. Like, it's over for you, man.
It's Jover.
Yeah, review The Wire.
And that creates many problems with the film. Like, I hear some of the slang in this film, like the word besties, and while that term did apparently exist way back when, you would not be hearing that in middle school.
Oh,
the movie.
Come the fuck on. Yes, you would if you were a girl.
He's like, well, you also didn't have any friends, Enter.
You didn't have any fucking friends, man. Honey Beppe sent in $5. Mr. Enter is the stereotype of every autistic person fears being. Also, I've said it in chat, but yes, some of the actions Ming has done are accurate for a helicopter parent. A few scenes hit very hard and were painful to watch. Turning Red showed it off. Yeah, I think it's very accurate if you had a parent like that, especially.
If you were a girl, and you had a parent like that, especially, yeah, all that shit. This movie was meant for you. But
he's talking from the perspective of, like, I was a social outcast when I was in middle school. I had no friends. And I spent my time preparing for my lucrative YouTube career.
By watching
like, he is not the litmus test for these themes.
Well, no, Boba,
also,
he wouldn't, because he's asexual. He swears he's asexual.
He's asexual. He's
Boba.
Completely and 100% asexual. And that's not because girls keep turning him down.
Overestimates how common cell phone use was among middle schoolers at the time. It wasn't until the mid to late 2000s when cell phones became a common thing in middle schools. Like, unless the family was rich, even the adults at the time would be using beepers.
Dog, I was in Canadian high school in 2005, I want to say. Not to date myself too hard. I think that's right. But grade 8, yeah, we all had phones. I had a Nokia phone. It's because fucking phone plans are different in Canada. Stop talking like a goddamn American. Our phones are pretty cheap. Yeah.
Then again, these are also just fucking flip phones.
Yeah, and like Canadian, like in Canada, family plans are like really big too, from our providers. So like, your mom or your dad would get a phone and you'd get a phone. That was very common.
So Canadians had cell phones. Okay.
All the time. Yeah.
And it's just wrong and stupid.
Yeah.
It's like this is an amazing revelation, Brains.
Plus, this is a fucking it's a metropolitan city, you idiot. Like he's talking from this perspective like Toronto is not a world city. It's our largest, most populated, most diverse city in Canada. Yeah, we had cell phones, you ass. We all had cell phones. I grew up having a fucking cell phone at that age. And I'm literally about the same age as the person who made this fucking movie. Enter doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Because he's never been to Canada. And he doesn't know Canadian culture. And he certainly... I don't even know if the guy's got his fucking driving license, man. I don't know if he's been anywhere.
I think that he actually talks about when he got his drive in like his facts about me thing, so we're gonna have to get to that eventually.
Yeah, we might run back to facts about me after this.
Anime style also feels off due to the time period. While anime did exist in the West, obviously, besides Sailor Moon or Dragon Ball, Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh!, it was pretty niche until like 2005. Then we started getting tricklings of things like Zatch Bell, One Piece, and...
Nigga, you were a nerd! How do you spell this shit out to people like this? As someone who was a nerd in high school myself. Dog, you were a loser. You were a nerd. You were not a normal fucking kid. You were the outlier.
You were the one who sat by himself. Everyone always put like a space between you and them if they had.
What the fuck are you talking about? Zatch Bell? Yu-Gi-Oh? Most kids weren't doing that shit, you idiot. You had to like suck. You had to be terrible as a kid to be fucking thinking about Zatch Bell at grade 8. What the hell's wrong with you, man?
Oh my
God. I can't. Him being sanctimonious about his age pisses me off because he doesn't get that he was like the most fringe person in his school, undoubtedly.
Oh yeah, no, dude. Like I said, he was the one who would always eat by himself, probably. And if anyone had to sit at the table with him, there'd always be at least one spot between him and them. You know, nobody sat.
Yeah, he's talking like this is completely normal.
Yeah, Boba, you're right. Mr. Edger peaked in middle school.
It's like, why doesn't anyone play Yu-Gi-Oh! In high school anymore?
And so on. I mean, anime definitely was there, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the styling of the time. Speaking of which, by 2002, boy bands were on the way out. That is literally the year that Justin Timberlake went solo, effectively ending the craze for a decade. 2002 wasn't a very in-your-face time either. It was quiet. It was grungy. Linkin Park...
We're about to hit it, dude. We're about to hit it.
I'm fucking dying. Alex, Zatch Bell is a anime about people who control puppets psychically. It routinely appears in Tamers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 animations. Routinely, like constantly.
Oh, is that what that fucking shit
is?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I always Tamers always throws it in there. I'm like, I fucking hate these ugly little bastards.
Okay, again, like, he just doesn't get it. Linkin Park was for emo nerds. Like the metal kids, the kids who sat alone, the kids who sat at the weird table, they listened to Meteora and Hybrid Theory. Okay?
You guys put the fucking leaf, like, all over the place. Are you guys that proud of your fucking leaf? I gotta ask that, because, like, she has it on her little suitcase there.
No.
Whatever it's called.
No, that's excessive. I will say, though, we haven't had our flag as long as, like, you guys did. So we're kind of proud of it because we had to, like, secede from the British. We had the Union Jack until, like, 1965.
Jeez.
Yeah, the fucking British.
It hasn't even been 100 years.
Exactly. Yeah, we haven't even had 100 years of our own flag. So yeah, and our flag sucks. Like, let's keep it a buck, man. A fucking leaf.
It is.
But yeah, I just don't like him talking from this perspective when he didn't live as like a socially normal Canadian teenager. He lived as a socially abnormal American teenager.
Yeah. He has no experience with this. I only have a little bit more experience because I wasn't completely socially retarded like he was. So
we did have a war. It was the War of 1812. We fought you guys.
Yeah. And you lost. How's that feel?
No, we won.
No.
We routed you guys. You guys stopped fighting us. That's about as close to a win as Canada could ask for.
That counts as a tie then.
Yeah, yeah, we didn't lose. We tied at least.
I'm not gonna take it out from Canada.
Dog, we fucking came in clutch on so many wars. We showed up at the last minute and we're like, oh, how can we help, eh? World War I, World War II, we just tapped in like 5 minutes before the war was over.
Fucking saved.
Oh, hey, we just heard that this thing was happening there, eh? I'm gonna make a very bad decision here. I'm gonna leave the chat in the comfortable hands of Depresston while I take a piss. I'm gonna take the fastest piss I can. Don't say anything racist.
All right. Okay. He's gone. Guys, remember, we won the War of 1812. Canada lost because we didn't get conquered by the British again. So that's a victory for us. Yeah, we should do it again. You're right, Kazma. We wouldn't lose. We wouldn't lose. We never lose. Only, we don't technically lose. We just strategically retreat. And that counts as a tie than a loss. God, dude, this fucking turd. This enter guy's a fucking dumbass, dude. Can't wait. Oh yeah, we're quickly coming up on the 9/11. That's gonna be a ton of fun. Preston, who is your favorite Canadian? I like Justin Trudeau because he did the blackface once. That was really fun.
Oh God, I came back to that. Is it? Did you say Trudeau was your favorite because he did blackface?
Yeah, that's what I said. Stars in speculation. What's my score on JFK? At least a 7.
I said,
are you? I don't feel comfortable answering that one. Stars. Sorry.
Oh. Okay. All right. Well. No, the day of the rake will come, but I anticipate being dead by the time the day of the rake comes for all Leafs. The rakening. I'm sad that I'm not your favorite Canadian, man. Come on.
Yeah, but you're always doing blackface. Trudeau is like a once.
Alright, you fucking got me there, goddamn.
Was one of the biggest bands in the world. Everyone was emotional and full of angst. Like, there's one guy...
No, they weren't! You were a subculture, you idiot!
...in the school who has this emo look, and yeah, that is 2002, right there. The whole movie should look like that. And that's partially because there's an elephant in the room that you do have to realize if you want to say, golly geez, let's set this film in 2002 for no reason. This film takes place less than a year after the September 11th terrorist attacks. I bring this up because it radically altered the culture of the time.
Oh, and then he cuts to the one with the Muslim.
How is she not cuffed by the CIA?
Well, where was she on 9/11, huh? Oh my God!
Look, like, I'll recount this very briefly. When September 11th happened in Canada, we had a half day at my school. I went home thinking that for some reason I was congratulated for, I don't know, being a student with a half day. So then I went home, and when I tried to watch anime on YTV, which is our equivalent of Cartoon Network. It was news reports of 9/11, and I went, oh shit, the TV's broken. And then I played, and then I played Final Fantasy IX, and that was 9/11 for most children in Canada. I shit you not.
I really can't talk about 9/11 because it actually was a huge deal where I am. So who'd have thunk?
Yeah, it's like I have grown to have a great appreciation for how monumental of a tragedy that was. That said, I grew up in a different country where it was like a notable footnote.
I mean, it was kind of notable because it like grounded all flights in and out of them.
Yeah, but I was a kid, so
yeah, no, I get you.
I was a little kid, so I like didn't even fucking understand why I couldn't watch cartoons. Like it was all day news on every single channel in Canada for sure.
I'm sure you just found it more annoying than anything. Kids in America probably found it more annoying than anything.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with the TV? I'll just play video games instead, was my solution. And then September 12th rolled over, and there were still no cartoons. And that's when I got real pissed off. And unlike Mr. Enter, though, I stopped watching cartoons constantly.
Yeah, Goodly, you're right. Canadians did 9/11.
Yeah, that's right. Nah, we couldn't have done 9/11. We would have said sorry before we crashed into the towers.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, eh? Oh, didn't mean to fuck up your towers there, eh?
And ways to make this movie feel exceptionally ignorant of the time. Even though, literally, the only reason I can comprehend that this movie is set explicitly in 2002 is because the director grew up in that exact year. Yes, this film takes place in Canada, not the United States, but all...
There are so many things that point to it being 2002 that he's just choosing to ignore.
Director grew up in that exact year. Yes, this film...
Like, if this girl's using a fucking Instamatic to take that picture.
Yeah, and of course the fucking dated-ass cell phones with all the, like, flip screens
The Nokia bricks and stuff, like, the fashion of the time, wearing Vans all the time, like... He just doesn't understand what Canada was like in 2002. And he also doesn't get what it was like not being unpopular in 2002.
That's the only life he's ever lived.
He was only unpopular as a teenager. So he doesn't get that people didn't listen to Linkin Park. And people, like, did listen to fucking, like, Beyonce and Lil Wayne. Like, he doesn't get that. It's abundantly clear he just can't wrap his mind around that shit.
The film takes place in
crazy,
Canada,
though?
not the United States,
just
but
all
over the Western world. Canada, America, the UK, much of Europe, people were paranoid because 9/11 wasn't the only terror attack that had happened. It was the major theme of the decade. I mean, I can understand not wanting everyone to be so fearful, as that goes against the tone that the movie is trying to establish. But then you have very awkward moments if you actually were there and you do actually remember the time period. Like, the moment with Ming, this strange adult standing outside the school with a box. An adult that no one wants to account.
So he's not talking about the security guard, just saying.
The one with the turban.
That
Is
was
Toronto this racially diverse? That's a question I have.
Yeah, it is completely 100%.
I just
Toronto.
assumed it was like all white people and like maybe like 4 blacks.
No, Toronto is a complete melting pot. That's why a lot of like Toronto people speak with Jamaican slang because we have like an enormous Jamaican population in TO.
Like crazy, man.
And yeah, huge Asian population, huge East Indian population. No, it's probably our most diverse city. It's amazing, actually. Like, you couldn't see just white people anywhere in Toronto. I shit you not.
I see. All right. I was just wondering about like, because I know a little bit about like the way like women, God, like, wow, this sounds really fucking bad. I'm trying to think of how I want to say this. lot of racial diversity in projects that I guess women do, like even if it doesn't make sense, if that makes.
You're right. That did sound bad.
That sounds really bad. Right,
no, no, Toronto's exactly like this.
Okay.
They hit the towers, May. They hit the towers.
Completely trying to obscure her appearance and getting attention of the kids in the school. In real world 2002, she wouldn't just be confronted by the school security guard. She would be tackled by the police and hauled in.
You're from
here's
America!
The thing. If they picked 1999 or 2000 or literally any year that was not 2002, this movie's setting would make a lot more sense. 1999, I could buy the in-your-face attitude, the boy band stuff. That was an optimistic year, despite everything else going on at the time.
Like
and on top of that, the movie doesn't get anything at all by...
It absolutely was like this. Like, for reference, 2002 is like Backstreet Boys' second album, 98 Degrees, O-Town, NSYNC's second album. I don't think Eminem has released an album in 2002 yet.
I'm sure that's probably your favorite part of it.
Yeah, it was a beautiful time. You know who did release an album on 9/11/2001 was Jay-Z. And he released one of his best albums on September 11th. My man fucking knew. Jay-Z was an insider.
He was like, you thought the fire at fucking towers was real. Wait till
Yeah, you think... Yo, the fire didn't start on the inside until they played the album.
Setting itself in 2002. The boy band Four Town could have been replaced with any other musical act. The lack of cell phones and...
Four Town's based on O-Town. O-Town debuted in 2002. You're a fucking idiot. You never hung out with girls. You never got laid, you fucking dick.
You are so mad at this guy's cultural appropriation of Canadian shit.
O-Town is from America. This guy is just a nerd. He's just a loser nerd, and he doesn't realize that 2002 is just a year, man. Like,
oh man.
Surveillance technology doesn't matter because May was caught on the news, and being hidden really isn't a goal in this film. I mean, I wouldn't set it in 2022, obviously, but taking place in just a vague, unspecified time like any other Disney Pixar film would have done this one so much favor. Take away Ming, and you take away the setting, and what's left with the film? You have a nice little story about a girl having something supernatural happening to her and going through it with her friends. And that is a nice part of the film. It's amazing, really. What the trailers made look like was going to be the worst part of the film was actually, in the end, probably its saving grace. May and her friends have very good chemistry. I just wish the film could be only about that, and it took more cues from something like Stand By Me. Because every time that it's...
Stand By Me is a movie where four boys walk down some train tracks and almost get attacked and molested by a man.
No, it's...
So I don't know if it should take cues from that.
Yeah. Good commentary, Enter.
It should take cues from the movie where four boys almost get murdered.
Not about that. The film struggles, and it struggles hard. Like, there's also May's father, Jin. He says like 2 words throughout the entire film, and then towards the end he decides that he wants...
Like many Asian fathers. Man, I fucking hate this guy.
Why wasn't this... He just has complaints about fucking nothing.
Yeah, many Asian dads are extremely stoic. Ted comment, $2. Eminem's beats can't melt steel beams. Oh, man. That made me a lot more upset than I thought it would.
Wants to be an actual character, out of nowhere. The film is clunky. That's the best way to describe it. Which side of okay it's on depends on my mood, but it is vastly below Pixar's average. Or, well, it would have been 15 years ago. Oh yeah, there's also the puberty thing. It is really underplayed, and the controversy is...
Thank you, Zuki. Don't let this distract you from the fact that in 1966, Al Bundy scored 4 touchdowns in a single game while playing for the Polk High School Panthers. Depresston, are you old enough to have watched Married with Children?
I haven't seen that fucking one. No.
Okay, alright. Zuki and I revealing that we're both uncles with that fucking joke. God damn, man.
Is blown mega out of proportion. Beyond the metaphor of May turning into a red panda, you're not going to get much besides menstrual pads. Like, you could watch this film and think that the only symptom of going through puberty for May is turning into a giant red panda. And this is something that I'm getting really tired of happening, by the way. I don't know whether to call it shock advertisement or an offshoot of rainbow capitalism, where Disney and its stands say that everyone has to go see X, Y, and Z film and absolutely love it because it's so daring, so brave. You know, like how they add in a literal gay wink and a nudge, so they can claim that they have the first LGBT character in their film for the 20th time, in such a small role that they can remove it for international audiences. You want animation that's daring? Watch Braceface.
Also Canada, you're welcome.
No, I'm not kidding. That show actually had a period episode with things like menstrual cramps mentioned, which aired in 2001. That was more than 20 years ago. And if you're not keeping score, that happened before this movie even took place. Cartoons were more daring and diverse back then than you probably give them credit for, and definitely more than the industry does today. Not so much with films, but actual on-television.
I don't get him like criticizing a Canadian female coming of age story with another Canadian female coming of age story.
Enter's not that bright.
No, he isn't. He totally fucked up his point by going, look at this show made in Canada about Canadians.
But she doesn't turn into a red panda in that one, so it's okay.
And they also didn't talk about 9/11 and the ramifications of 9/11, despite the show being made in 2001.
All shows should talk about 9/11, dude.
Yeah,
it would make it better, dude.
I'm just picturing like fucking Gumball talking to Darwin, going like, "Wow, I can't believe they hit the two towers." Darwin.
Television animation, yes, it was probably more diverse back then than it is now. Want to talk Asian characters animation? American Dragon, Jake Long, Life and Time of Juniper Lee, Jackie Chan Adventures, Yume from Code Lyoko, Hi Puffy Yumi, and that is also ignoring shows that try to showcase many or all ethnicities, like Class of 3000 or Hey.
Those are all like Asian ching chong shows.
Yeah, they weren't great, but I watched them because they were on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, that's what you do when you're fucking 10. It's like you don't have much say in the matter. You just go like, shit, man, I got 4 shows until the show I like comes on.
I can't go do something else, so I'm just gonna sit here.
I have nothing else to do. I have no agency beyond watching television. So I guess I'm just gonna watch 4 hours of TV to get to the show I like.
Just gonna watch this.
Hey Arnold, I'm not going to give easy credits for things that have already been done and done better 20 years ago. Or more, in the case of Hey Arnold. But if...
Oh shit, Ted Comet, $2. If the grandma can still turn into a panda, does that mean she hasn't gone through menopause yet? Oh no, man! I didn't write this stupid movie.
If you want to keep giving credit to a mega corporation that stole your values and is trying to sell them back to you, keep on praising every little scrap of things that they will keep removing for an international market. Because the only color that Disney and these other corporations care about is green.
Now he's complaining about fucking corporation.
I don't know why at the end he just like cranked the volume on that stupid soundtrack up to like 900.
I don't know, man.
All right, we gotta watch. Well, actually, we gotta go back to our random enter facts.
Give me one second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Nah, you're good, man. Why is this movie for girls too girly? Fact, Zuki. Fact. I didn't really like Kids Next Door, but thanks to the way TV worked, I know way too much about Kids Next Door. Quote Goodly. Yeah, like. That's the exact point. It's like the amount of times I can count on both hands and then someone else's hands that I watched absolute bullshit to get to Dragon Ball Z episodes.
Oh shit, Dragon Ball Z episodes? Where are we?
Yeah, I was saying like Goodly had a really good point on how TV worked, where you'd have to watch a bunch of crap to get to the stuff you liked, right? And, like, I've watched many fucking dumb shows to watch DBZ after the fact, or to watch, like, a show I liked afterwards. You know, I'm not sure if it was like that when you were young, Depresston, where, like, you'd have to watch You don't have to watch it, but of course you're a fucking kid. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Right? So
I
like,
sit there, I play like with my toys or whatever, or my PSP, and I fucking watch whatever garbage is on TV.
Yeah.
Usually it was garbage.
You will eventually get to an episode of the show you like, but it might take fucking 3 hours because Cartoon Network's dog shit.
Surprise, surprise.
So his favorite Zelda game is Majora's Mask. Of course, he has the Contrarian pick. That's not surprising to me.
Is that like everyone's favorite? I thought though, Majora's Mask.
I think Ocarina of Time's more popular than Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask's kind of like the outlier. Like it's a very
so Majora's Mask is the one you choose if you don't want to play Ocarina. I thought Majora's Mask was good. I've always heard it's good. I don't play Zelda, so
it is good, but it's like one of those games that's like it's divisive, right? Rat King says, "Well, I liked Uncle Grandpa. It was goofy. That's the best kind of show. It's one that shows you some creativity." I know Uncle Grandpa itself is quite divisive because people forgot how to have fun and just watch a stupid cartoon.
Yeah, everyone has to have their shows be fucking serialized. What is that? Like, very few shows get away with not having it. I think Gumball's one, technically.
Yeah. Well, I think Gumball's serialized, but it's also good, which is quite rare for a show that tries to get serialized to be like consistently funny.
I know that the Uncle Grandpa creator
drew
a bunch of shit on like his thing after his show got from HBO Max. Like one with Uncle Grandpa with like a revolver in his mouth. Have you seen that one?
No, holy fuck. No, that's based as shit.
Let me see if I can find it for you while we read these.
So I can pull up Suicidal Uncle Grandpa. Okay. Video games are my absolute favorite medium, yet I've never played Super Mario 64, Grand Theft Auto 4, Final Fantasy 7, or Resident Evil 4. Like, why would you like just deliberately not play 4 very good games?
These are all fantastic games.
They're all like beloved, innovative games.
Like,
and they've all aged well. Like,
yeah, they're all fantastic.
Like they're not even like antiquated games or something. They all play pretty good still. My favorite musical artist is either Voltaire or Gautier. Oh my fucking god.
Do you not like those two?
Voltaire, I mean, I can take or leave. Gautier is the somebody that I used to know guy.
It's an okay. I like it.
That's an okay song. I can't imagine like saying, "Oh man, Gautier is my favorite artist of all time."
I found a grandpa picture. I sent it to you.
I'm not right. Oh no! All right, let me fucking pull this up. God damn it, man.
That was made by the guy who made Uncle Grandpa.
This is from the creator of Uncle Grandpa.
Oh my god. Yeah.
All right, let's get right back to this.
Voltaire, didn't he make like that? He made like all those like evil goth songs. There's no one else to call it besides that.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but how could that be your favorite?
You're like
artist
favorite artist of all time. My most hated media character, I finally settled on it, is Lois from Malcolm in the Middle. I'm sure that she's absolutely hilarious if you didn't grow up with someone like her. Wow, that's some couched trauma right there, man.
That is fun.
I'm sure his mom was exactly like Lois. My favorite drink is Mountain Dew. Favorite non-soda drink.
Soda is the only thing I.
That's the most burger fucking response to that. It's like, what do you drink other than soda?
Iced tea.
Iced tea? I don't know. Soda is the only thing I drink.
How about fucking water, you fucking retard?
I loved 4 cheese Doritos, but I don't think they exist anymore. When I was a Let's Player, I almost got to 100 subscribers. Makes me wonder what would happen if I stuck with it. Probably.
You would have gone fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
dude.
probably not much, man. Like, I have no known allergies.
Oh, that was actually kind of. I've never left the United States, but I've been to every New England state and every state along the Eastern Coast. So that means he probably lives in New England.
Oh, shit.
Interesting.
I also have a crippling fear of cold water.
What? Okay.
Okay. I played survival horror games like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and Dino Crisis as a kid. How have you not played Resi 4 if you have played, like, survival horror games? I just don't get that. Like, I don't know. Chalk it up to me being a silly guy or something, but, like, that's the one everyone plays.
Is RE4, yeah. Everyone's played RE4.
The first video game I ever remember playing is Spyro the Dragon at 6 years old. I was born in 1992, so that was 1998, the year it came out. Jesus Christ, man. Stop giving me so much information about your life.
This seriously kind of reminds me of Chris Chan, just oversharing shit. And you know what? That's a question for you. What was the first game you played, Brains?
The first game I played?
Yeah, first video game you can at least remember playing.
Oh, this is going to sound bad, but I think it was Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Yeah. It ruined my life, man. I wish my parents got me a SNES instead of a Genesis.
Where everything started going downhill immediately.
Yeah.
Playing that.
Yeah, I know that was like the first game they bought for me, too, was Sonic 1.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, I know. I probably could have been on a real good course in my life if that didn't happen. I really like Bartok the Magnificent. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, the fuck are you talking about? Bartok the Magnificent.
I do firmly believe that Chicken Little is the worst movie I've seen. Tentacolino is too bizarre to be offended by. Other movies that came close were Silent Hill Revelations. Yeah, that movie's pretty bad. And That's My Boy, the Adam Sandler film. That movie's also bad. Okay, cool. I haven't actually seen Fantasia. I haven't seen Citizen Kane either, but Fantasia is supposed to be the greatest animated film of all time. I mean,
it's artistic.
Yeah, it's cool though. Like, you know, yeah, it's more like
I put it on as a kid as background noise because it had all that music, so I would just play that in the background while I did other shit.
Yeah, and it was made in a time where like people didn't have access to that much music. Like,
wait, Kazma says that I think she's talking about the Bartok the Magnificent is a Don Bluth sequel to Anastasia.
Oh God. Anastasia itself isn't very good, so that's gotta be wild.
I actually liked Anastasia growing up.
Was that because you resonated with Rasputin?
Yeah, just fucking shit up for the hell of it, yeah.
The first person I ever subscribed to on YouTube, come on, we don't need to know this shit, was Gamgree the Green Mage for his awesome Silent Hill Shattered Memories Let's Play. Cool, man.
Thanks, bro.
Sick.
Thanks for sharing.
I can't sleep when in the middle of a project. I can listen to one song on repeat and enjoy it. In fact, I frequently do that while editing a review. This makes so much goddamn sense. This makes so much sense. I know how to cook. Shocking. My favorite video game to play is Morrowind. My favorite video game is To the Moon. And I think...
Wait.
What?
So it's his favorite video game is To the Moon, but he likes to play Morrowind. He
prefers to play Morrowind frequently, I imagine.
I guess.
And I think that Terranigma was the best video game ever written, with one of the most annoying final bosses in gaming history. He can do one stupid attack 30 times or more before you can attack him. If you've played it, you know what I'm talking about. Wow, like, just... Why is he sharing this much shit?
I want to see him play a Souls game now. That would be good.
Yeah, he would get very mad. I hate the Aristocats. I love the Fox and the Hound. I'm the oldest of 4 children. Least favorite meme? It's that, yeah, every time someone says a fucking pun. Although the bees come pretty damn close.
He has so many facts about himself. God damn.
I know.
I have no favorite meme because all memes are bad.
I have a typing speed of somewhere between 80 to 90 words per minute. Most hated Simpsons episode? Considering that I have not personally seen Boys of Bummer, I'd have to go with Regarding Marge or Homer versus Dignity.
Oh god, the next one is it.
And the next one. I use scissors to shave. I have never once used a razor.
Why would you share that?
Yeah, why would you share that? That's straight up extremely embarrassing. Why would you tell people...
It's not even like he uses the scissors to, like, trim up his facial hair.
Yeah.
He uses it to shave.
That's fucked. That is fucked up. That is, like, genuinely fucked up. Kuko Chad, 5 words an hour for me. My favorite word is penultimate. Mostly for how pointless the word is. The item before the last. Almost as pointless as pre-penultimate. The second item before the last. Or worse yet, anti-pre-penultimate. The third item before the last. God, this guy's a lot of fun at parties, huh?
Yeah, dude. I actually put penultimate. That reminds me of a fucking Tropico. You ever play that game?
Yeah, I played Tropico.
Yeah, penultimo. That was a fun one.
Hell yeah. Good taste. I like to collect things, whether it be video games, Pokemon, or NES games, it doesn't matter. Whether it be video games, Pokemon, or video games. And I assume the Pokemon are the video games about Pokemon. I like to collect video games, is what you said there.
It's either that or, like, either he's just a fucking hoarder. Like, dude, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's nothing to be very proud of, honestly. The most annoying commercial ever. The current Verizon ones with the guy running around asking which blah 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 they use. The only thing I will remember about him is the most grating voice in the world. If I do see that guy, I will punch him.
I will punch him!
He's gonna get an assault charge over an advertisement.
Oh god, enter fucking Wood.
He would. My favorite experience is riding in a crowded but not jammed highway at night with the bright city lights off on the road. And finally, I did this because I was bored. Well, thank you, Enter.
Thanks, Enter. Thank you for sharing.
Greatly appreciated. So we're gonna look at some growing around here.
Oh boy, this is his personal book in case anyone doesn't know.
Yeah, animated series turned book.
Kid,
Well,
do you remember how you had to wake up?
Series.
Do you remember?
He stole the idea from some like old cartoon. If what I've seen is correct.
Oh man.
There was like some like failed pilot where like it was like the kids were adults and the adults were kids, and he liked the idea so much he stole it for a book.
Imagine plagiarizing a concept this fucking terrible.
And he probably loves it because then he would be a kid in this universe. We'll stop telling him to grow the fuck up.
Like, why wouldn't you plagiarize Halo? Like, why would you plagiarize a concept this ass?
Do you remember what it was like being a kid? Do you remember how you had to wake up early, sometimes even before the sun had come up, to get ready to go to school? A place that you'd come to dislike as the years had rolled on. A place where they put information in your head that you couldn't care less about. Your only reprieve during the day was a brief bit of recess, which was a luxury that was ripped away little by little, as they wanted to prepare you for more and more tests. In these times, it felt like imagination was all that you had to carry you forward to the next day. You were able to make the world so much more exciting in your head. You'd be thinking of schools for learning magic over math. Those dishes that you hated cleaning, they'd become the centerpiece of a game of baseball. And that bedtime that your parents saddled you with, what if that was their bedtime? Then maybe you'd think,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What if I was in charge?
What if I was in charge, dude? Fuck it.
I
love how he's like, isn't it suck as a kid when you have to wake up at 5:30? He's like, you gotta do that as an adult as well, Enter. Well, not you, because you don't have a job, but the rest of us do.
Yeah,
you know?
and then you have to like drive to work. Yeah, it's like, actually being a kid kind of slapped, man.
Yeah.
I didn't have to fucking drive anywhere. Didn't have to work a bullshit job for people I hate.
Yeah, dude.
What if you were the one in charge? I want to bring that thought to life with a show that I call Growing Around. It's planned to be a cartoon about an energetic and wildly imaginative little girl named Sally Dunn as she navigates issues of family, friends, and her typical daily life in a world where kids make all of the rules. They run the schools, the homes, the towns, and the countries. It sounds like it would be a world of fun and games, and some days it is, as Sally helps her parents with their homework, like getting the highest score in the latest video game, or creating the absolute best superhero identity. But even a world of fun and games isn't always fun and games. Childhood is a time of extremes, and Growing Around takes these fantasies and removes the safety brakes. A simple game of tag could drive an entire city into the apocalypse. After all, if you want the game to end, you're probably just the person who's it, and is tricking them into being tagged. Growing Around builds the world that kids would create if they did have the power and just runs with it. In this world, if you want that new top-of-the-line toy that's being glassed out on all of the commercials, you can buy it. In fact, you've gotta buy it. After all, your boss only wants to promote the coolest kid in the building.
This is shit. This is really bad idea, dude. It's so fucking bad. I've been stunned. I haven't said anything.
Yeah, I know. It's like bafflingly bad.
It's like, oh, what if kids ran the like world? Well, then we'd probably all fucking die because kids can't grow food, you know?
Yeah, kids are idiots, man. Like, how are they gonna possibly build infrastructure?
There's a reason we throw them in school for 8 hours a day, you know?
It's to prepare them for the reality of life, and we do it quite gradually. Like, Enter's acting like kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, all these grades don't very slowly ease you into greater and greater responsibilities.
It's so bizarre. He's just like, yeah, there's just so many questions about how this fucking world works. So if I'm getting this straight, like from ages like 0 to 18, you're like free to do whatever you want, and then at 18 you just become a little slave to children.
Yeah,
is that
you
this
immediately at 19 years old, you immediately become subjugated to children. Yes.
What an awful this is like a dystopian world.
I would hate to be like 40 and a parent and go like, wow, I have no autonomy because I'm old.
I have to go to work now. Because I'm guessing is it gonna be are we gonna have like plumber children? Is it the child that has to work? You know, and be like,
yeah, fuck, some 10-year-old electrical engineer shows up to your house to do your wiring and goes like,
yeah.
Well, you see, the problem is you're not having enough fun for the light bulbs to work.
Yeah. This fucking society would collapse immediately.
Jesus Christ, you fucking kid! No, I
don't even want to think about like the sexual connotations of all this, dude.
Oh God, let's ignore that and keep watching.
And let's just say that he's been having a few tantrums about it as of late. A brother and sister start fighting over a cereal box toy. With no parents to break them up, they do the only logical thing they can think of: go to court. At its core, Growing Around is a show about growing up, and growing up is difficult. We all know that. You learn that even your best friends sometimes move on and move away, that the people in charge don't always have your best interest in mind. It's a time of self-discovery as you come to terms with your direction in life, your identity, and your place in the world.
Why is this kid with the lemonade so pissed off, man? He looks like it's about to end right here.
Growing Around is a show that tackles these issues without sugarcoating or kid gloves, but it needs your help to come into existence. This show is a culmination of 4 years of work. I've been at it writing dozens of scripts and fine-tuning the world and the characters to perfection. However, there is one hurdle that is yet to be crossed, and that's the financial one. Growing Around is a series that isn't...
I don't work, and I need your money.
After to perfection my ass, this world...
You're making Collier look like a straight-up bull by comparison. Oh shit, they really cooked him in the comments. Yeah, no way is anybody going to support something until you actually have something to show your audience. No one knows how the animation will be, the voice actors, characterizations, and writing. If you released a pilot from the get-go, and it did exceptionally well, then people would be comfortable donating because they already like the product. There is an already proven demand for what you're creating. Holy fuck, man.
We're also not done with this. We still got like a minute to go.
Touching any issue. Topics
Holy
of
shit.
sexuality, gender,
Oh,
existential crisis, cultural identity, death, regret, they will all be subjects of episodes.
What
The
the
freedom
fuck?
from executive control. Identity,
Yeah, let's
death.
run back to death. It's like, oh man, yeah. The stakes in growing around just spike up out of nowhere. It's like you go from playing like Jacks and Monopoly to people dying.
Does this mean that like what canonical events from our world happened in this little growing around world? Like, was JFK still assassinated, but was it like child JFK getting shot in the head?
Well, no, it was adult JFK driving the car and probably some child in the back, and then they got hit with a water gun and I don't know, maybe water balloons or something, because they're 7.
The dumb fucking idea for a book,
This
dude.
is a terrible premise. It's just an awful premise, and he should be ashamed of himself for trying.
Regret, they will all be subjects of episodes. The freedom from executive control is paramount to making the show.
I don't want anyone to interfere with my bullshit idea.
There's I know that a lot of the times like these like big higher ups fuck shit up, but sometimes they're there for a reason. Sometimes
Yeah,
No.
like let's be real. Animators, cartoonists, cartoon writers, they're usually weirdo idiots who can't like pay their bills on time.
Mhm.
And producers of television shows are kind of like really professional tard wranglers. Forgive my phrasing.
You're goddamn right, they are. Because they have to. I mean, have you ever heard of some of the shit that these like
Yeah,
giant
oh yeah.
weirdos in charge of this?
And the exec from Cartoon Network's gonna come to the studio and go like, "Listen, you fucking idiots! This stupid cartoon cost $1 million to make. Make it, or you're all fired."
Like, this is a show meant to appease 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
Quit throwing
This
in
show
your-
is supposed to already be on the air. What are you morons doing? That's how the creator of Ren and Stimpy got fired, because the Nick executive said, like, "You fucking moron! You're supposed to make the show. We don't care if it's well animated. You stupid asshole. You haven't made 3 episodes yet."
I'm gonna be honest, dude. I know there's like always that, oh, well, animation just isn't for kids. It's primarily for kids. And the argument, oh, kids won't notice, is completely true, dude. I was a stupid little kid.
Yeah.
I watched anything that came on that TV.
Kids
you know?
will not notice. Some kid's not going to be sitting with this juice box and going like, "Wow, the in-between frames on that scene were pretty sloppy."
Yeah. Except for maybe Little Mr. Enter, and he was like, "What is it?"
Yeah. Yeah, even that, he had to learn about animation, and like the more you watch his videos, the more abundantly clear it becomes that he doesn't even know a lot about animation. He just watches cartoons a lot.
And I'm not surprised. I mean, it's like, so there's this one episode of Hell's Kitchen where like, because they always bring in like these chefs, and then one of the guys is just like a TikTok like reviewer guy that they brought in, and he fucking sucked ass, unsurprisingly. He didn't know how to do shit. And that's essentially what Enter is. You might like, same with fucking Fantano for shit.
Oh yeah,
Like-
Fantano's a terrible musician. He's a middling to bad bassist, and he couldn't hack it as a bassist. He couldn't get in any fucking bands. But you know what he is? A professional vinyl buyer.
Yeah, because you don't like his reviews, do you?
Not even a little, man. Yeah, Fantano sucks. And he should stop growing that ugly fucking mustache on November. If anything, the people who have cancer would probably rather have cancer than see that thing on his lip.
Oh, God, dude.
They'd probably see his fucking review of a fucking Lil Uzi Vert album and see that goddamn disgusting caterpillar on his upper lip and go like, whoo! Alright, pull the plug. I'm out.
Work the way that it was intended to be. This is why I am
they're
planning
talking about
on
John
using
K. going to jail.
Indiegogo. This particular
He's
crowdfunding
talking
campaign will be
about
for the
it.
pilot episode entitled Max's Many...
You know, John K. would just pop in and go like, Mr. Enter, I love your show. How about we get children to animate it too? And I can... I can pay them in I don't know about that, John.
And then fucking Dan Schneider comes in. He's like, I love this. Maybe we can get them to work barefoot as well.
I want to produce your show, but these children have too many shoes on.
birthdays.
Too many
After it's produced, I'm going to give the series Growing Around its own Patreon to keep it going.
This man couldn't even draw the P right. He drew a D.
You're right. It's a goddamn D.
Come on, dog. My man couldn't even do the Patreon logo right.
The money that's being raised is going to go entirely into the show, mainly the
great.
animation budget. In return for your donation, we have many great rewards available.
All right.
We have t-shirts, show accurate to the main characters, posters that I will personally sign, art of you and your characters in the style of the show, and
Go back a
many
little bit. I just noticed something.
All right, yeah.
Just a little bit. Okay, after this one.
posters.
That one. Right there. That's fucking Enter right there. That's like, that looks like his modern day little guy. Right? You see what I'm saying?
Who, the dad character
bearded-
here or whatever?
Yeah, the dad character looks kind of like the way Mr. Enter draws himself now. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's kind of depressing because we all know that he's
This is
he's
his
so-
fantasy.
This is his fantasy, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why he wants this so badly. He wants to be a little kid that's an adult that doesn't have any responsibilities. Enter's a fucking loser.
God damn it! Fucking Goodly killed me with this quote because it's very accurate to how John K. would say it. Like, I love the premise, but you draw like a queer.
Yeah.
That's exactly how John K. would look at this and go like, "What are you, retarded?"
And then Enter would get all mad. He's like, "You're just a troll. Get out of here, John K. I
Look.
don't need you."
Look, I was totally behind the kids thing, but I'm a big fan of the kids premise, but the rest of this crap sucks.
That I will
out here.
personally sign, art of you and your characters in the style of the show,
I'll
and
punch
many more
teenagers
perks that you
elsewhere.
can check out on our Indiegogo page. To clear up any confusion, if this pilot does
Yeah, I
get
said
funded,
much
I am
worse.
not going to be putting it behind a paywall or anything. The pilot will go up right here on my YouTube page and on my website. My dream is in your hands now. And
That's maybe the most pathetic way to end Indiegogo I've ever heard. It's just him going like, "You must help me.
Please help me. I can't
Please.
do this by myself."
Please, for the love of God, I have no skills or money.
I mean, we know he does it. We've seen his work.
You have to help me through this tumultuous time. Please.
I will kill myself. There is no
thank
alternative
you
here.
for listening.
You're welcome for listening. God, that... Alright, so...
I want to point out, we only reacted to the fucking Indiegogo trailer. There is so much more of that fucking shit show that we didn't even look at yet, dude.
Yeah, he's got the, well, I got the playlist queued up.
Oh,
a lot of these are reviews, though. But, like,
Gotcha.
he has, like, a Q&A video that's worth looking into as well. But we might just go through the last of the Growing Around stuff and wrap it up. This is the theme song of Growing Around.
Oh god, this is gonna sound like shit, isn't it? How bad is this, man?
Wake up and spend the day.
This is shit! Fucking Christ, this is already bad, dude.
You know the cliche of the record producer hearing like 5 seconds and going, no, stop. Like,
that's how I feel right now.
Yeah.
This was so bad in 4 seconds.
It's like, just like, pack it in. You're not meant to do whatever the fuck this is.
I don't know what I can. Shit, this is really bad.
This
dude.
is bad. Like, he didn't pay like a real singer to do this. or like a real composer to compose it. Like Mr. Enter seems to like just hate giving people money for their work.
Yeah. I have to say, like, so I'm not as well versed as you are, you know.
Mhm.
Like, I can listen to Eminem and not be like criticizing him for the next 40 minutes.
Not seethe violently. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can tell this is dog shit. This is so bad.
No, this is horrendous. This is like genuinely awful.
Kuko, quit lying. This isn't fire.
This does not slap. Yeah, the vocals are like extremely amateurish. The programming on the drums is awful. The melodies really fucking horrible.
The lyrics are fucking.
The lyrics
so
are ass. The lyrics are pure ass.
Like, maybe I'm giving him way too much credit for this. I was gonna say, like, maybe it's supposed to like be written by a child, but I guess in his own way, Enter is already a fucking like child mentally.
Yeah, he never grew up, so.
Never says there's so much to do right here in our little.
Wow, those like the cramped syllables. There's so much to do right here in our little.
Come with me and buy yourself a new pony. Where a house is a castle and you wear the crown. And in a town as topsy-turvy as ours is, we pinky swear you'll never ever frown. 'Cause in this world we're all growing around.
Oh, he said it. He said it. Created by John Enter Rosansky and Kyle Murdoch. We'll have to look into Kyle Murdoch if we ever do a Mr. Enter follow-up.
We're gonna do it. We gotta do a Mr. Enter
Yeah, oh
follow-up
shit,
to
fucking, we got Don Cheadle and Jada Pinkett Smith in the back. This is
That
this
was
is ass.
that was
fucking ass, man.
That was ass, dude. Like,
That was straight up booty. That song, like, they need to rewrite the whole ass song. That's fucking terrible.
skid marks, dude. Fucking Christ.
Like, melodies just terrible. Like, I don't know if Enter's trying to slide on that girl or what. She can't sing. That bitch was horrible.
John Enter like fucking did like one like revision of that fucking song. He was like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, yeah, all right, that's fine. Like, yeah, the people who do shit like this don't realize that like songs like take numerous drafts. Like, you have to write like many times, do like demo vocals, all that shit.
Nah, have you never don't you know? I Wonder was written. It was all done in one.
Yeah, I Wonder one take. One take. Kanye just went in the booth and went like, "Hi, it's done." Hey, Kanye, did you write any lyrics? No.
No.
I'm freestyling this bitch. And this is the instrumental.
Do we have to listen to it again?
Yeah, we do.
I got you.
At least a little bit of it to hear it. God damn it, man. The fucking like stock MIDI keyboard he used on this. I know he didn't write this music. This guy has like no talent whatsoever. Did he credit with someone who, like, the person who did? No, of course he didn't. All right. Cool. Oh! Oh man, this sounds like a goddamn Game Boy gained sentience. What the fuck is this shit? This is horrendous. And the two-step drums like. Oh man, yo nigga, you cook. This is horrendous.
Yeah, fucking straight garbage. Look at how Buffy made his little Intersona.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, let's see how yoked Mr. Enter is in this.
There.
My man is absolutely yoked.
Oh,
it's like, wow, how'd you get that jacked? Went to the library.
Went to the library. Where do you work?
Where do you work out? Oh man, nah, it's over. It's over. I can't listen to that shit. That is,
we listened to it once.
That is pure ass. I wanted to hear the instrumental because I needed to hear how it was programmed. That's just my like autistic producer brain. I needed answers and I got them. It's bad.
So I posted my Growing Around Indiegogo trailer the other day, and while most people seem to be at least supportive of it, there was understandably questions and skepticism. And so I decided to make this update video because I want to be as transparent as possible.
The instrumental could not go hard, digital. The instrumental's pure booty. The like stocked the stock MIDI instruments, the drums being way too loud, using an open hat as a closed hat. No, that shit is pure ass.
It feels like the shit you would make on GarageBand, like talking about.
Yeah, it totally sounds like first time in GarageBand shit. Absolutely. Oh, god damn it, Kazma, no. Kazma asked, when am I gonna remix it?
Do that enter type beat, dude.
Many of these questions I answered on a live stream last night, but understandably not everybody has time to watch through something that long and disorganized. So I'm going to answer the most pressing questions as quickly as I can get. And let's start with the most common question. How did you arrive at that number, 350K? More
$350,000? You know that clip from The Simpsons where Homer's brother's like losing his mind at the price tag of the hideous car?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been a while since I watched that one.
This monstrosity cost $350,000.
Specifically, the 250K animation
$2K
budget.
for
I arrived at the
soundtrack?
number because the job of the animator
cheap.
is
That
one of the
feels
most
really
tedious
cheap
jobs
for
in the
like
world.
a good soundtrack.
It
Yeah,
is.
I could be wrong.
That's extremely cheap because you would hire a composer.
Well, clearly he's not gonna do that with 2K. He's just paying some guy to fucking
What the?
make like,
He's
3
got
songs.
he's got 20K dedicated to discretionary costs, but he's got 2K dedicated to doing a soundtrack for the entire television show.
And 5K just to the voice acting. He's hiring like fucking Fiverr voice actors. God damn.
Yeah, 5K is way too cheap. Tons of like single VAs record their lines for 5K.
Well, good ones. Like I said, he's just gonna go on Fiverr. Like,
yeah,
does
but
the mic work?
but I mean, like, all right, let's give him enough credit. Let's say he's using like mid-tier VAs, right? Like, that's still not enough money to get a full cast of mid-tier VAs.
Especially for like the main characters, unless he's planning on doing all the characters himself.
And you're reading like, let's say this stupid show was like 2 11-minute parts each episode, right? Or maybe the pilot's only 11 minutes. That's still 11 minutes of spoken dialogue across it. You're telling me you can do that for $5,000? Christ, man. This budget's nuts.
More is perks and rewards 35K. God damn. Indiegogo fees 17.5K. Transaction fees 10.5K.
I don't know anyone who would do a full fucking score of a TV show for 2K. Like, you would have to be broke to go, yeah, that sounds good, man. I've mostly been eating bugs, but
I've been eating rats that I find under in my house, but yeah, I can do it for 2K, man.
Like all classical musicians, you're poor enough to agree to that.
Think about it. You're drawing almost the same picture time and again, usually based on someone else's idea. 1 minute of animation tends to be 1,440 frames. To do a project like an animation pilot, it requires a large team or even a studio. What you want animated usually dictates the overall...
I like how he's saying all these facts about animation, but he's totally skipping all the other parts of production. Where it's like, oh, you know, the average score for a television show costs $2,000.
And let's not forget, these ones have like these pilots are backed by like major fucking like producers.
I know
and
this.
shit, you know?
This guy's an idiot. This Constant Pain pilot was a Nickelodeon show.
Yeah.
Like they greenlit a pilot, which studios do. They'll like get a proof of concept and they'll go, all right, show us what this would look like.
And then they also have like at least they could go to like to get like, you know, hey, this guy will do the score, you know, pay him the money. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
No, this fucking idiot's just like, he's just gonna like message like Kanye and be like, hey man, could you write a track for my show?
Yeah.
I
want to see Mr. Eder in the studio with EA.
Cost of production. A show where characters are just largely talking is going to
I
cost a
want
lot
Mr.
less than say
Eder on
anime
Dawn
explosions
3.
everywhere. But most animated pilots for 11-minute cartoon episodes cost around the 300 mark.
Imagine if,
and our pilot
if
episode.
EA went fucking Alex view with Mr. Eder instead of Nick Fuentes.
Guys, Mr. Eder's just sitting awkwardly going like, well, EA believed in the concept around growing around. I think it's dope how kids are adults and adults are kids. I think that's dope. You know who else was dope? Adolf Hitler.
Episode is going to be 22 minutes to 26 minutes.
Edge,
Why didn't you show any
what
animation
if I was,
in your pitch video?
If I
The
was
short answer
racist
is I didn't want to have to make an Indiegogo pitch for an Indiegogo pitch. The pitch video.
Look, he got better. He watched 21 Jump Street and now he's fine.
I love that. I love that's the fucking ending to this whole thing with Kanye.
Yeah.
Is he watched 21 Jump Street? It was cute.
That's genuinely the fucking funniest thing he's ever tweeted, man. It's
It
just
could've
going
been
like, I'm cured, man. This movie was funny. Jews are great.
Not just that. It's the funniest way this whole thing could have was Kanye being cute via 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
It reminds me of whenever like at the first with the whole stupid Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk fight.
Oh,
when
yeah.
people thought that Elon Musk was gonna tell them that Elon's mom was gonna tell them that they can't fight. That would be the funniest way that this fucking ended.
It's like, no, I don't give you permission.
The video itself cost me
my
over
mom says I can't.
$500, including the storyboards, the editing, the music. If you want to count the model sheets the characters are based on, that's a lot more too. If it was fully animated, it would cost thousands on top of what I already made. Part of the animation budget also goes into animation tests. That's how it works. You get animation tests from
You notice how like reluctant he is to spend his own money? Like he won't say like, oh, I'm gonna match to this amount for backers, right?
But to be fair, Enter doesn't make a lot of money. I've like this was a while ago. I think it was Easy Peasy did a whole That's why I know anything about Enter really.
Yeah.
And like he talked about how like Enter gets like fuck all from Patreon. Cause like he has 250k subs, but most of his subs don't do Patreon for him.
Oof. Like that's something I've noticed with a lot of like YouTubers at that like range, like 250 to 300k, where like I've heard too many of them talk about like financial woes the way that like the average person does, and it's like, whew, that's I would just get a fucking job, man.
Yeah, but I think it's something about that number to them, and they think that they can make it on YouTube just doing YouTube, but they can't.
No, you like must supplement that.
Like even if you just work at part time,
get a part-time job, and you'd probably be doing great. But like so many of these guys are so resistant and just will not get a job. We love
various studios or freelancers to make sure that they are right for the production. It's one of the reasons why I can't just say we're going with studio A, B, or C, or a team of freelancers. And which animation studio or freelancers that we go with, I want the backers to be satisfied with, so they will get a say. Why didn't you set the goal lower? Because when you crowdfund, the worst thing ever is not making your goal. The worst thing ever is making your goal but not being able to deliver or delivering a disappointment. I want to make absolutely sure that I am able to deliver if I get the funding that I need. What if you don't reach your goal? That depends on certain facts, namely how well we did in the actual campaign. Missing by a hair and missing by hundreds of thousands says different things.
That's very
no matter
fair.
what, I'll reevaluate my scope, I will talk about it with my team, but the project, the world of Growing Around, it won't be dead. I will find a way to get this into reality some way, shape, or form. Does it really take 9 months to make a cartoon episode? Yes, sometimes it takes even longer. If you want an example, and I know this is not the best reference ever, but a Family Guy episode takes a full year to make.
It doesn't seem like this with most network cartoons because networks and studios are able to afford to make a season's worth all at once. What style is the animation going to be? 2D, like the model sheets and all of the art. How long are the episodes? Every episode is in the 22 to 26 minute range. The Indiegogo page has been updated to state this. I have added an FAQ section, which will be continually updated throughout the entire campaign. What do you mean by continuity driven? Everything in every episode continues into the next. People keep and retain their experiences, lessons, adventures, and consequences.
So he's one of those nerds that cares about continuity in little kid shows. It's the dumbest fucking thing.
Yeah, it's like this should just be an episodic concept. It's already such a bad concept in the first place, but to like fixate on it being episodic is just mind-blowing to me.
You think he would get mad at like kids cartoons, like, you know, like Courage the Cowardly Dog, when Eustace would stop being like a giant foot or whatever?
Yeah,
you know?
He'd be like, what happened? How did he get cured? Yeah. Well, he was complaining about the status quo in that like Family Guy review, but
unironically, I think that fucking for Enter, the best word to describe him is just dork. Like, yeah, it's such a childish insult, but that's the best word I can use.
He is a complete dweeb. He's a dork. He's like a complete nerd. It's just ridiculous. Oh, I will say God damn, we've been going for a bit. We still have some good material for if we revisit Enter.
Of course. I'd be down for it.
Yeah, I'd be absolutely down for it too, man. Thank you so much for coming on, Depresston.
Of course. We ending it here? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. We're at 3 hours and 20 minutes, my God.
God damn.
Yeah.
This was fun. I enjoyed making fun of this guy. I would love to do it again.
You know? We're officially longer than Oppenheimer, so I think that's a good call.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah, let's end.
But yeah, by all means, no, we should probably do a part 2 of Mr. Enter, because good fucking God, there's a lot to go through. We didn't even get to the most exciting stuff, his Plandemic documentary.
Oh my God, yeah, we gotta get to the Plandemic next time, dude.
For the chat, just to get you really excited, this man has a lot of strong feelings about COVID-19. We'll have to break that down next time we come on. So, thank you so much to everyone who joined us for this. Mr. Enter's a fucking goober. Fuck me, man.
He's a nerd. He's a geek.
He's a dweebenheimer. We would both wedgie him if given the opportunity.
And I was not like the most popular guy in my school. Neither were you, Brains.
Yeah, no, not at all.
This is the guy that we would bully, you know?
Yeah. I'd fucking put my Yu-Gi-Oh deck back in the box and go like, yo, that guy's showing up. Let's get him. let me pack up my duelist mat so we can beat up this kid.
We would be like Sleet and Dingo, and this guy would be fucking Robotnik. I don't know.
All right. Well, thanks again, man. Always love having you on here, and thank you to everyone who popped in on this. This was a fucking hilarious time. So, good night, y'all. Peace, peace, peace.